Chapter 1902. In 1 second, she remembered Love Divided by You. Read book, Webno pop-up window, free to read. Sima Yoyue's little realm had not been opened since she came to the ghost realm. It was not that she did not want it, but no matter how hard she tried, she could not open it. Thinking that there were still so many people living in it, she was a little anxious. Wu Lingyu said that it might be because this token could only be opened by the power of the human race, so she probably could not open the little realm when she was in the ghost realm. The surrounding people didn't think that Wu Lingyu and the others would leave just like that. When they saw that Sima Yu was alone, they didn't know who shouted, "Kill her." This lightning tribulation was caused by her. As long as we kill her, nothing will happen. Hearing this shout, everyone came to their senses. That's right. As long as we kill her, everything will be fine, right? Looking up at the sky that was getting darker and darker, they could already feel the thunder elements floating in the air. Every one of them had goosebumps, as if they could feel the threat of death. The closer they were to death, the more they wanted to live, and the way they looked at Sima Yue had changed. At this time, someone could not wait to attack her. Pot dash! Thunder and lightning struck the person, and he fell from the sky directly. At the same time, the people who wanted to come up behind him stopped halfway. Thunder, and lightning? They looked up at the thunder clouds. Indeed, it had not finished condensing. How could it fall in advance? They still hadn't figured out when a few more bolts of lightning came down, striking down the people surrounding Sima Yu. At this time, everyone saw that there was a purple kitten in Sima Yu's arms. One by one, "You can't wait to come over. How can I not fulfill your wishes?" Little Purple waved his claws, and a few more thunder and lightning flew out from his claws, landing on the people around him. If they were only suspicious at the beginning, now that they saw with their own eyes that the thunder and lightning was released by Little Purple, the way they looked at Little Purple changed. There was a spiritual beast that could release thunder and lightning. Sima Yue was not human. Sima Yue looked at the tribulation clouds. There was still some time before the lightning tribulation. She called out all her beasts. Mier, Little Seven, Huahua, Little Dream, Little Rock, Yaguang, Little Roar, Little Gold, Chongming, Heiyin, Little Black. Even the sleeping 1,000 resonants had woken up, including Little Purple. 13 beasts lined up beside her. That formation made everyone's heart tremble. The beasts knew that this was not the time to joke around. None of them said a word as they attacked the people surrounding Sima Yue, preventing them from getting close to Sima Yue. The beast's strength was nothing in front of these masters, but they were able to prevent them from getting close to Sima Yue. Sima Yue has so many contracted beasts. Not only were there many of them, but they were also powerful. They were the masters of the spirit world, but they were unable to get close to her beasts. Just as they were wondering if they should send more people down, a flame flew out from her body. After circling her twice, it turned into a firebird and flew around the battlefield. Wherever the firebird passed, there were no corpses left. "What kind of firebird is that?" someone exclaimed. "That's not a bird, it's fire." Patriarch Peng looked at little birdie in shock. "That's Patriarch. What kind of fire is that? How can it be so powerful?" "If I'm not wrong, that should be the legendary Nirvana Flame." Patriarch Peng felt that it was unbelievable. Nirvana Flame is the flame of the legendary Vermilion Bird. Why would it appear here? Vermilion Bird? How? How could this be? How could this be? How could it not be? Since it existed in the legends, how could it not appear again? But why would it appear here with Sima Yue? Why would it appear here with Sima Yue? They even felt a little hopeless. She had 2 bodyguards with unknown backgrounds and a lover who could use the water of the River of Forgetfulness. She herself had so many contracted beasts and could even summon lightning. Why would they go against such a person? What were they thinking at that time? They couldn't kill her here, but the thunder punishment was ready. Sima Yue saw that it was almost time, so she called back all her beasts, leaving only Little Purple to resist the thunder punishment for her. At this time, the thunder punishment had locked onto everyone present. Even if they killed her, the thunder punishment wouldn't stop, so they didn't have the mind to deal with her. They only thought about how to resist the thunder punishment. On the contrary, she was relaxed at this time. She held Little Purple in the center and had nothing to do. After thinking for a while, she held Little Purple and flew to the Thunder Punishment Cloud to chat with the Cloud Spirit. She went to the Thunder Punishment Cloud. She doesn't want to live anymore. Someone noticed that she was missing. He looked up and found that she was actually on the Thunder Punishment Cloud. She was even talking and laughing. It seemed that she was chatting with the Thunder Punishment Cloud. Did she have feelings for the Thunder Punishment Cloud? Who on earth was she? What they didn't know was that she did have feelings for the Thunder Punishment Cloud. But it wasn't because of the Thunder Punishment, but because of the drinking. You made such a big noise again. The Cloud Spirit sat on the cloud, holding a jar of wine, and almost fell into it. It's not what I want. You see, so many people want to kill me. I have no choice but to borrow your power. Sima Yue looked at it with a smile. You have consumed my power. You have to make up for it. The Cloud Spirit hummed. Why are there so many people who want to kill you wherever you go? You have such a bad character. Sima Yue waved her hand, and a pile of fruit wine and anti-drunkenness elixirs piled on the cloud. Looking at the Cloud Spirit's shining eyes, she felt a lot better. She reached out and poked its head, asking, Is this enough? Just barely. The Cloud Spirit waved its little tail and replied proudly. Greedy. Sima Yue liked the time when she was with the Cloud Spirit. Although she was often struck by the Cloud Spirit, she felt very relaxed when they were together. She didn't need to think about anything else. Okay, I'm going to start the Thunder Punishment. Get off now. It hurts just thinking about it. You have to strike me less later. Do you understand? In your dreams, you are the one who is going through the Thunder Punishment. Go, 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 go. The Cloud Spirit urged. Sima Yue carried Little Z down. As soon as they landed, the first Thunder Punishment struck. As the one who was going through the Thunder Punishment, the first thunder naturally struck her. Little Z absorbed most of the power for her. She only used a small part of it to refine her body. As a soul, she was the first one who could use thunder to refine her body. Seeing this, those who were forced to go through the Thunder Punishment with her almost dropped their jaws. No wonder she dared to attract the thunder so casually. It turned out that she was not afraid of being struck. Bang, bang. The Thunder Punishment struck one after another. But this time, the target was not her. Along with the Thunder Punishment, there was a deafening scream. Chapter 1903. In 1 second, she remembered Love Divided by You. Read, book, webno pop-up windows, free to read. The commotion here had already attracted the attention of various parties. The news of over 10,000 experts wanting to kill Sima Yue had already spread in Yangcheng. Everyone in the city was waiting for those people to return after killing Sima Yue. In fact, some people felt that joining forces with tens of thousands of people to kill a woman was an inconceivable thing in itself. What made them even more surprised was that so many people had yet to return after such a long time. Could it be that Sima Yue's ability was actually able to defeat over 10,000 experts? Previously, they felt that this was too much of a fuss. Now, it seemed like she was a demon. When the tribulation clouds started to gather outside the city, the previous shock turned into fear. In the ghost realm, no matter who it was, no matter how strong they were, they would be afraid of this thing. Fortunately, the tribulation clouds only gathered at Mount Usu Air and did not seem to be heading towards the city. Everyone then heaved a sigh of relief. Mount Usu Air, isn't that where they went? Let's go and see what happened. Countless people flew towards that direction. The onlookers stopped outside the area of the lightning tribulation and gasped when they saw the charred corpses. After the Cloud Spirit finished striking those people, it patted its butt and left. The entire valley had already been struck into a mess. The corpses were telling of the tragedy of the lightning tribulation, but the most frightening thing was that in the middle of the pile of corpses, there was a peerless beauty holding a purple cat, leisurely stroking its fur. Although she had also been struck, she didn't seem to be in a sorry state at all. Dark Knight? Princess. Someone muttered a name that no one had mentioned for a long time. It really seemed like even those who had rushed over were stunned. This is Miss Yue? If I didn't know her identity, even I would have thought that she was the Dark Knight Princess. Beside Di Wu's eyes were still filled with shock. Miss has always been like this. She always shocks people. Di Lu looked at Sima Yu excitedly. Seeing that the tribulation clouds had left, he ran over and shouted, Miss! Miss! We're late. Di Lu? Sima Yu saw Di Lu and a trace of smile appeared on her cold face. What are you doing here? Master knows that you've been hunted down and sent us to protect you. This is Di Wu, and the guys behind him are the Di family army. Di Lu introduced. Di Wu greets young Mississippi. Di Jejun greets Miss. The soldiers of the Di family knelt down in front of Sima Yue. In fact, they had arrived a long time ago, but because the space was sealed, they did not go over when they saw that Sima Yue was able to handle it. Instead, they chose to watch from the side. Di Lu was originally very anxious, but Di Wu's words stopped him in his tracks. Di Wu said, If young mistress uses her own strength to get rid of these people, then no one in the entire ghost realm will dare to find trouble with her. Di Wu was right. They could get rid of these people this time, but they would not be afraid of Sima Yue. As long as they were not around, she would be attacked from all sides. She would only be at peace if she solved the problem herself. They originally planned to help if they could not handle it, but they did not expect Sima Yue to solve the problem in such a flashy way. When the tribulation cloud struck, their hearts were trembling. They were really convinced by her. Not only them, but the people of vast region were also like that. They did not react until the tribulation clouds left. No wonder she did not allow them to follow her. If they followed her, the tribulation clouds would have struck them to death. Young mistress, Master asked us to protect you to the capital. Di Lu said, As for these people, I think no one will dare to find trouble with you in the future. There was a movement in the space. Wu Lingyu opened her little realm and brought Black Shadow and Huan out. When Black Shadow and Huan saw Sima Yue, they were still in a state of shock. Because Wu Lingyu was worried about Sima Yu, they were able to see the situation outside, even from inside. The lightning that covered the sky and covered the earth made their hearts ache. If it hit them, it would be so painful, especially Black Shadow. This was the first time he saw Sima Yue going through the tribulation. Throughout the entire process, his mouth did not close. He always thought that Sima Yue was very weak. Their responsibility was to protect her safety. But after this incident, he no longer thought that Sima Yue was a weakling. Sima Yue introduced them to Di Lu and Di Wu. Let's leave this place first. We can't recognize these corpses anymore, but I think their clansmen should be able to recognize us. Wu Lingyu said. Sima Yue did not reply to him. Instead, she looked toward the sky. Following a sigh, a figure gradually appeared in the sky. When Sima Yue saw the person, her pupils constricted. She pursed her lips and did not say a word. Her senses just now were accurate. When the first bolt of lightning struck her body, she felt something in the air for a moment. Mixed in with that kind of environment, it was not easy to notice, but she still managed to catch it. Di Lu looked at the person and knelt down. They said in unison, "Greetings to Ghost King." That person was actually Ghost King? The others who were watching the show all knelt down. At that moment, other than Ghost King, Yue and the other three were the only ones who were still standing. Ghost King did not mind their rudeness. He looked at Sima Yue and asked, "When did you notice me?" "When the lightning tribulation started." Sima Yue replied, "Your senses are very sharp." Ghost King looked at her approvingly. After he came here, he only felt a slight fluctuation when he saw the lightning strike her body. Moreover, the fluctuation was not big. He did not expect her to be able to catch it. Sima Yue turned her face to the side. "What are you doing here?" "Deja told me that you came to Ghost Realm." Ghost King understood her emotions and gave her an explanation that was not really an explanation. He knew that she blamed him. She thought that he did not interfere in the past, which caused her to be in such a situation. He also told her that he did not know about it in the past. Sima Yue pursed her lips and did not say a word. When Ghost King saw her like this, he recalled the time when his precious youngest daughter threw a tantrum at him. His eyes were filled with sadness. "Follow me." He looked at Wu Lingyu and the rest. He did not stop them from following him. He walked out of the battlefield and stepped over the charred corpses. He walked past the people who were kneeling on the ground and watched the show. He said faintly, "Kill all the clans who participated in this." "Yes, King." A reply came from the sky. Then it became quiet again. His words represented his attitude, and also meant that those families who participated in this matter would soon disappear from the world of spirits and souls. Recommended friend, Liu Xingyin's new book, Trash Pill God, Black Belly Ghost King, Nitian Concubine. It's a very good Xuanhua novel. You can't miss it. Love you all. Chapter 1904. In 1 second, she remembered love divided by you. Read book, web quick update. No pop-up window. Free to read. At this moment, those who were watching the show felt a lingering fear. Ghost King actually killed all the powerhouses who were involved in today's matter for Sima Yue. Although there were only 10,000 people now, there were still hundreds and thousands of powerhouses. To remove all these powerhouses from the Ghost Realm was not a small matter. But to the ruler of the Ghost Realm, this was not a big deal. Luckily, they did not get involved. If not, they would be finished. Many people's backs were drenched in sweat when they thought of this. They did not expect that Ghost King would make such a big fuss over his granddaughter, whom they thought he did not care about at all, to vent her anger. Until Ghost King and Sima Yue left, those people stood up from the ground. Some of them were so frightened that their legs turned to jelly and directly sat on the ground. They turned back to look at the corpses in the valley. These people were still complacent before, but not only did they lose their lives in the hands of Sima Yue, even their families were dragged down. If they were still alive, who knew what they would think? Di Wu and Di Lu were overjoyed when they heard this. Most of the powerhouses who were involved in today's matter were under the Anaheim. Now that Ghost King had removed them, wouldn't the Anaheim's power be weakened? This was really good news, ha ha ha. They wanted to spread the news of today's matter back. Sima Yue followed Ghost King for a long time. Neither of them spoke until they reached the highest peak of Mount Yezhur. The wind at the peak of the mountain caused their clothes and hair to flutter. Ghost King looked at Sima Yue and said, "You really look like your mother." Sima Yue raised her head and looked at Ghost King. He looked very young, but his eyes contained the vicissitudes of life, as though he was helpless and heartbroken. "Since you mention my mother, I shall not beat around the bush." She pursed her lips and asked the question that had been accumulating in her heart. "Where is my mother?" The Ghost King stared at her, and his eyes became sharp. Seeing that she had no intention of backing down, he threw his hands behind his back and looked into the distance. He said, "Your mother made a mistake and is receiving punishment. Since you have come to the ghost world, live a good life here. Don't think about those useless things." "Nothing?" Sima Yue laughed angrily. "Is my mother nothing in your eyes? You don't know anything, so don't care about anything." Ghost King suppressed his temper, trying not to scare her. "Don't care if you don't know? That's my mother." Sima Yue's voice became shrill. "She's my mother, so it's impossible for me to remain indifferent when I know she's suffering. It's impossible for me to do nothing. From the moment I knew that she was suffering, my goal was to save her. If you tell me, I'll save myself some trouble. If you don't tell me, I won't stop. I'll find my mother and save her. How dare you? Why wouldn't I dare?" Sima Yue looked at him mockingly. "Do you think I'm like you? Cousin said that you have your own difficulties, but in my opinion, no matter what difficulties you have, it's just an excuse to use your daughter's sacrifice in exchange for peace. I'm different from you. I won't think so much. I won't think about whether it will cause chaos or not. I only want my mother to be well. No matter what happened in the past." In her eyes, the Ghost King was a coward who compromised with others. He used his own daughter in exchange for others to back down. The Ghost King closed his eyes and suppressed his anger. When he opened his eyes again, he was cold and indifferent like before. He and Sima Yue stared at each other, neither of them willing to back down. In the end, he compromised and opened his mouth first. "I said I won't allow it. I also said, it's your business to say it or not. It's my business to do it or not." Sima Yue did not back down. The Ghost King looked at the similar eyes. For a moment, he was in a trance, thinking that he was looking at another pair of eyes. He knew this gaze, and understood the determination behind it. However, it was his similar gaze that made him not dare to look at it directly. He turned his gaze to the distance, his aura suddenly weakened, and said, "You and your mother are too similar." Sima Yue did not speak. "It's this again, it's useless to say it. Actually, all of this was your mother's request." The Ghost King said, "Leaving you and your father is one. Choosing to be suppressed is also one." "What? Impossible." Sima Yue did not believe it. "When you brought people to bring my mother back, she also resisted. How could you want to leave me and my father? It's even more impossible for her to ask to be suppressed and lose her freedom forever. You don't believe it, but this is the truth." The Ghost King said, "Impossible. She likes my father so much. How could she ask to leave? She won't abandon me and my father." Sima Yue shook her head. She did not believe it. "Don't think that by saying this, I will give up and go find my mother. I won't fall for your trick." At that time, your father and mother were not only opposed by the people from the human realm, they were also in danger from the ghost realm. Someone from the ghost realm knew that she went to the human realm and was weak, so they sent people to assassinate them. She had been hiding this from your father. The Ghost King said, "On one side was the pursuit from the human realm. On the other side was the assassination from the ghost realm. There were a few times when they almost couldn't hold on. If it was only the humans' opposition, she might have persevered. However, there was also the crisis from the ghost realm. Especially with you. She couldn't let you live in danger all day. So she asked for help from me." Sima Yue looked at the Ghost King in shock. The time when he brought people over, it was not because she was with her father. The Ghost King brought people to capture her, but because she asked for help? How is this possible? Sima Lu Yun and the rest said that her father almost lost his life, and it was the Ghost King who personally took action. When her mother left, she was so sad and unwilling. The Ghost King understood her thoughts and continued, "I am the king of the ghost realm. If I want to kill a small human, would he have a chance to live?" Sima Yue's heart trembled. He was right. If he was really angry about her father and mother's union, why would he let her father live? Although it looked like he was seriously injured, he could live if he didn't die. Could it be that her mother really asked to leave? Because she was afraid of bringing danger to her and her father, so that she could live a good life while she was still in swaddling clothes? Two people, with a baby, how are they going to face the endless pursuit from both the human and ghost realm? For her own safety, she was willing to bear the pain and leave. After leaving, how was she going to bear the pain of missing her daughter? Thinking of this, her eyes were dry and painful. What happened after that? Since she asked to come back, why was she suppressed? Chapter 1905. In 1 second, she remembered Love Divided by You. Read book Webno pop-up window, free to read. If Yukoluo left on her own accord, why would she be suppressed in a place like the Avicii Hell when she returned? Ghost King sighed. Speaking of which, it was the Soul Society's doing. The ruler of the Soul Society, Qing Hun, somehow knew that your mother was in the human realm and came to ask for your mother's hand in marriage. He said that he was in love with your mother and wanted to mend the relationship between the Soul Society and the Ghost Society. If your mother was not married to him, he would bring people to attack the Ghost Society. I think that his love for my mother was fake. He was using her as an excuse to attack. Sima Yue clenched her fists, feeling heartache for Yu Kuluo's situation. The Soul Society and the Ghost Society have always been at odds with each other. There were constant battles between them, but they were all small skirmishes. If they really fought, the ones who would be affected would be the innocent citizens. So you gave in? Is your grandfather someone who gives in so easily? Ghost King glanced at her. At that time, I wanted to send Qing Hun back, but many people objected. Although I didn't want to bother, I was already counting the troops to prepare for battle. However, your mother came to find me, saying that instead of causing chaos in the Ghost Society, it was better for her to be suppressed in the Avicii Hell. Mother, she was thinking for me. Ghost King sighed. When one is at a high position, there are some things that one must consider. I couldn't bear for her to marry Qing Han, and she didn't want me to do something that would disregard the common people. Moreover, Those people objected to the battle and wanted your mother to marry over. Even after that incident, they would still have ideas about your mother. So you agreed. Your mother said that she would rather be suppressed forever with the memories of your father and her longing for all of you than have an affair with someone else. And she didn't want me to be in a difficult position. She even said that I would suppress her when everyone was pressuring me. Since she was so insistent, I followed her wishes and told everyone that she was with the human race and had to be punished. So I suppressed her in the Avicii hell. So, to outsiders, Kaluo was suppressed because of what happened in the human realm. Ching Hun couldn't say anything about this and returned to the Soul Society. Soul Society, Ching Hun. This was the first time Sima Yue wanted to take someone's life so badly. However, even if what you said is true, I will still go and rescue my mother. I'm not stopping you because I'm afraid you'll bring me trouble, but you can't go now. The Ghost King said. Why? Because I can't get close to that place. Back then, when I suppressed your mother in the Avicii hell, I made a contract with that side. I can no longer approach that place. The Ghost King said. If you can't go, why can't I go too? Sima Yue was unhappy. Do you know how dangerous that place is? I won't let you go. The Ghost King was angered by her and directly expressed his attitude. You are you, and I am me. You can't go, but you can't stop me from going. Sima Yue was determined. I'm not completely unprepared. Are you talking about these two people from the underworld? Ghost King looked at Black Shadow and Huan, who were not far away. Sima Yue was shocked. You know, others can't tell where they came from, but how can I not know? The Ghost King retracted his gaze. Don't think that it'll be fine just because they're here. The people from the underworld can't make a move in the ghost world. Now that they're acting like this, they've already broken the contract. Hades said that the underworld can't cause trouble in the ghost world, but if it's for self-defense, it's fine. Otherwise, why didn't Sky Law find trouble with Black Shadow and Huan? Sima Yue said. However, I don't intend to rely on them to save my mother. With your current strength, I believe that I can do it. Sima Yue said. Lin said that only I can save my mother. If I don't do it because it's dangerous, who else can save my mother? So no matter what you say, you can't stop me. Lin. The Ghost King narrowed his eyes and thought of the man he saw before. On the way back to the ghost world, the man with a head full of silver hair stood in front of him and said with a smile, That child, when you meet her again one day, don't reject her request. She'll be your hope. At that time, he felt that it was strange. Now that he thought about it, was he referring to now? Even if that's the case, you can't go now. The Ghost King said, Your strength is only at the Underworld Emperor. If you want to save your mother, other than finding those few things, you have to break through the Underworld Paragon level. Those few things? What's that? The Four Corners Divine Seal. The Four Corners Divine Seal? Sima Yue frowned. She knew that it wasn't something ordinary. The Four Corners Divine Seal is made up of 4 divine seals that look the same, but the bottom is carved with north, south, east, and west. Each divine seal contains a different power. If the 4 divine seals are gathered together, they'll be able to destroy the world. The Ghost King explained to her, Why do we need the Four Corners Divine Seal to save my mother? Do you want to borrow the power of the Four Corners Divine Seal to destroy the seal? The seal that I used at the beginning wasn't very hard to destroy. However, the Soul Society sent someone to tamper with it and changed it to an ancient seal. And that seal can only be broken with the Four Corners Divine Seal. Then where's the Four Corners Divine Seal? Before you break through the Underworld Paragon level, I won't tell you the whereabouts of the Four Corners Divine Seal. The Ghost King was very firm on this point. If you want to save your mother as soon as possible, then work hard on your cultivation and break through as soon as possible. Sima Yue glared at him. However, this time, he was completely unmoved. This was his bottom line. Even if he agreed to let her save Kaluo, he wouldn't let her take the risk. Wu Lingyu, Black Shadow, and Huan stood a little further away and saw her talking to the Ghost King. They didn't know what she said, but they could see that she was angry, sad, and helpless. After a while, she walked back and looked at the 3 of them. I want to go to the Imperial capital with him. You've decided? Yes. Then let's go. We were prepared to go to the imperial capital anyway. Although they thought that she would directly ask for the location and then go save Ukaluo, since she made such a decision, they would naturally support her. He said that before I break through the underworld paragon level, he won't tell me the whereabouts of the Four Corners Divine Seal and where my mother is sealed. Sima Yue said as she looked at him angrily. Since there's a condition, it means that it's for your own good. Wu Lingyu said. Sima Yue sighed and said, I know. It's just that knowing the truth makes me feel a little sad. I don't know if my father can take it if he knows. Chapter 1906. 1 second to remember, love divided by you. Read book, webno pop-up window, free to read. Sima Yue did not tell Sima Lu Xian about Kaluo's departure. He now knew that this was of no use to him. It only made him sad and blamed himself. She followed the Ghost King to the imperial capital. With him, she did not need to use the teleportation array, nor did she need to open a space tunnel. She was happy and relaxed. Before leaving, she and Muyu Kaluo exchanged a message. A-class equals __CF email ref equals /CDNCGI/L/email protection. Fortunately, they met in the imperial capital. After what happened that day, even if they knew that she was Murong Shi, no one would dare to make a move on vast region. When they came out of the space tunnel, they were already in the imperial capital palace. The majestic palace stood at a high place. Standing outside the palace, one could see the layout of the imperial capital. But because it was too wide, one could not see the end of it. King, the guards outside knelt down. This is Princess Yue, the Ghost King said to these people. It was also announcing her identity and status to the entire ghost realm. Those guards did not hesitate and immediately kowtowed to Sima Yue and shouted respectfully, Princess Yue, let's go. I'll bring you to your youthful palace. The Ghost King turned and left. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu also followed. After they left, the guards on the ground stood up and looked at each other. Their eyes were filled with surprise. Princess Yue, is she the Sima Yue who has been the talk of the town recently? It should be. She really looks like the Dark Princess. The king actually arranged for her to stay in the youthful palace. That palace has been empty for a long time. It seems that she's really liked by the king. She stayed in the youthful palace the moment she arrived. Isn't that so? I heard that she has many stories along the way. It seems that the imperial palace is going to be lively. Isn't that so? Many of those princesses and princes are not on good terms with the Dark Princess. Now that she is here, we have a good show to watch. You dare to watch the princes and princesses fight? Are you tired of living? Stop grumbling and do your duty properly. Whoever dares to say such things to me again, I'll kill you. Yes, Captain. Sima Yue followed the Ghost King into the palace, and after several turns, they arrived at a spacious palace. This is the youthful palace. Your mother used to live here, the Ghost King said. Sima Yue looked at the 3 words, Fonghua Pavilion, and her heart was filled with emotions. Was this the place where mother had lived? She wondered if there were any traces left behind by her. After such a long time, she was finally in touch with her mother's life. At this moment, more than a dozen maidservants and guards filed out of the palace gate and knelt down in unison. Greetings, Your Majesty, Your Highness. From today onwards, Yue will be staying here. You have to serve her well. This servant obeys. This servant obeys. These are the people who used to serve your mother. They should serve you well. The Ghost King said. Sima Yue was astonished. Ukaluo had been suppressed for more than 100 years, but the people who used to serve her were still around. Let's go. I'll bring you in to take a look. The moment the Ghost King finished speaking, he saw a guard behind him. Although the guard did not say anything, the Ghost King still stopped walking and said to Sima Yue, I have something to do. I'll come back to see you. Sima Yue nodded and watched the Ghost King leave. She said to the maidservants and guards kneeling on the ground, You can get up. Thank you, Your Highness. Sima Yue entered the palace and found that the decorations were very unique. It was different from the other palaces. This palace is different from the others. She praised. replying, Your Highness. These were all arranged by the Dark Princess. My mother. Yes. The Dark Princess and the Dark Princess were the last princesses to stay here. No one else stayed here after them. The king ordered us to maintain this place. The maidservant who was walking in front said, In the future, you can call my mother Princess. You can call me Little Princess. Sima Yue said, Yes, Little Princess. The maidservants happily agreed. In their hearts, Yukaluo had always been their princess, so they could not change their way of speaking. Sima Yue did this because she respected their feelings for Yukaluo. Moreover, she was indeed the youngest princess in this generation. Although some of the children of the royal family were younger than her, they did not receive the title of princess. Princess, there are 4 halls in the youthful palace. You will stay in the main hall, the youthful palace. The 3 guests will stay in the side halls according to the king's orders. A maidservant said, What is your name? Sima Yue asked. This servant is Shiyu. I was one of the princess's maidservants in the past. Shiyu said, Now, this servant is in charge of everything in the youthful palace. Since it was you in the past, then you will have to take care of it in the future. Sima Yue smiled at her. She saw her smile. It was so similar to Yukaluo's. Tears welled up in her eyes. Yes, this servant will obey. You're all old people who have served my mother. In the future, Yue will need you to take care of her in the palace. Sima Yue bowed slightly to them. Along the way, she had also understood some things. Some palaces had many people, while some had few. Following a good master would naturally make one stand out. This youthful palace had been empty for more than 100 years. Those who stayed here were very loyal to Yukaluo. That was why they stayed here, even though they knew that she could not come back. Little Princess is too serious. Shiyu and the maidservants quickly knelt down. Taking care of Little Princess is our duty. It is our honor to take care of Little Princess for your highness. Sima Yue went forward to help Shiyu up. The others followed suit. I won't say any more polite words. I came to the palace to cultivate well so that I can rescue my mother as soon as possible. In the future, I will need you to take care of the matters in the palace. We will serve Little Princess with all our heart. I have 2 maidservants. When the time comes, I will bring them to the palace. Shiyu, teach them well for me. Sima Yue was talking about Ting Shan and Ting Shui. Previously, the 2 of them had always said that they wanted to follow her. She was also used to them. When Murong Hui arrived at the imperial capital, she would ask them to come over. Yes, Little Princess. You can leave first. I still have something to tell them. She waved her hand, and she led everyone to leave. Miss, how long will you stay here? Black Shadow asked. It will probably be a while. Sima Yue sighed and told them about her conversation with the Ghost King. So, you can't leave here before you break through to Underworld Venerable. Black Shadow said. More or less. However, what I am more concerned about now is the 4 Corners Divine Seal. Sima Yue said, I feel that this 4 Corners Divine Seal will not be so easy to find. Since there is such a thing, there must be a whereabouts. Huan said, Ghost King doesn't know? Wu Lingyu asked. He said that he has 1 side in his hands. He won't tell me about the other 3, saying that he's afraid that I will cause trouble. Sima Yue was a little speechless. Was she so impulsive? Chapter 1907. In 1 second, she remembered Love Divided by You. Read book, webno pop-up window, free to read. So, he knows where the 3-directional divine seal is. I don't know either. Sima Yue shook her head. Lingyu, get those people to check on the 4-directional divine seal. Okay. Wu Lingyu agreed without hesitation. It was rare for her to ask him to do something, so how could he refuse? Huan, Black Shadow, do you want to go back to the underworld? She was in the palace now and shouldn't be in any danger. She didn't need them to protect her all day. Why should we go back? If we follow you, what if Anaheim sends people to harm you? Black Shadow refused. They already knew that the incident in Yangcheng was caused by Anaheim, and they also knew about the grudge between her and Sima Yue. How could they be at ease with her living under Anaheim's watch? Sima Yue saw that Huan didn't have any objections, so she didn't care about them. If they were bored, they could go outside for a walk. Anyway, the people in the palace couldn't stop them. As for Wu Lingyu, she didn't need to think about it. He would definitely follow her. I'll cultivate well from now on and try to break through to Underworld Paragon as soon as possible. Then, I'll ask grandfather to tell me where my mother is. However, dreams were plentiful, but reality was harsh. She wanted to cultivate well, but she was always interrupted. The first person to come to her was Deja, who had received the news. He ran in like a gust of wind, and when he saw Sima Yue, he said excitedly, "You're finally in the capital. I heard from Di Lu and the others that you did a good job in Yangcheng. Those people deserved to end up like that." Sima Yue saw the smile on his face and laughed. "Only you think I did a good job. Didn't you hear the nickname that the outside world gave me? Female Killing God. TSK, TSK. I'm as famous as you." "Ha ha, that's great. I'm the Killing God, and you're the female Killing God." As expected of brother and sister. Deja remembered that he was stunned when he first heard this, and then he laughed. This title was not without its benefits. At the very least, no one would dare to provoke her. Yu Shiyu and the others were surprised to see Deja laughing. They were very familiar with him. In the past, when Luo was still around, he would often come over, but they had never seen him laugh so heartily. At most, it would be different from the murderous look on his face outside. It would be much gentler. However, this side was also gone after Luo was suppressed. He would occasionally come to the youthful palace, but every time he would have a cold face, causing the people in the youthful palace to be afraid. The general is in a good mood. It's been a long time since I've seen you smile. Shiyu and Deja had a good relationship. When she saw that he was happy, she would tease him. "Shiyu, did you become bolder when you saw that Yu was here? You even dare to make fun of me." Although Deja said this, he was not angry. The general is in a good mood today. He won't punish this servant. She was not afraid of him now. "You've only stayed here for a day, and these palace maids have been led astray by you." Deja complained to Sima Yue. "Is that so? Why do I feel like you're the one indulging them?" Sima Yue said, "However, it's all thanks to them that this place can still maintain the appearance when Mother was still around. Yes, those who betrayed the youthful palace are no longer here." Deja also sighed. Sima Yue understood what he meant. Shiyu had told her before that they were not the only people in the youthful palace. It was the other people who left after Luo was suppressed. However, those people did not get any benefits in the end. They were all killed by Deja. In his words, those people were ungrateful wretches who betrayed Luo in the past. There was no use in keeping them. Later on, someone went to the Ghost King's place to cause trouble. The Ghost King scolded him for causing trouble. Those palace maids and guards were transferred to other palaces. They were people from other palaces. He was slapping the faces of those concubines, princesses and princes. However, in the end, he did not punish him. He only gave him a beating and punished him to go into seclusion to reflect on his mistakes. To him, this was no different from scratching an itch. In the past, there were still some people who would come to the youthful palace to cause trouble. They could not win against Luo. After she left, they would cause trouble at her place. It was not a bad idea to torture her people in the past. Because of this, those who caused trouble stopped. This killing god clearly wanted to protect Luo. Those who went against him were seeking their own deaths. "Since you're here, I can enter the palace more often in the future." Deja said, "I heard that your general's residence is very domineering. When I'm free, I'll go take a look." Sima Yue said, "All right, why don't we do it now?" Deja's eyes lit up. "Since I'm free now, how about it? But Ling Yu and the rest are not here now." "Don't worry, I'm here. I won't let you be in danger." Deja said, "That's not what I meant." "All right, let's go then." Sima Yue originally wanted to wait for Wu Lingyu to come back and ask him about the spies in the Ghost Realm. Since he said so, she could only agree to go out. "Then let's go. Do you want to inform grandfather?" Sima Yue thought that she should inform the Ghost King if she went out as soon as she arrived. He doesn't have the time to care about these small matters. The others don't have to report when they go out. Deja said, "I'll bring you out and send you back when the time comes." All right. Because of Deja, she only brought Shiyu out alone. She did not even bring a single guard. Deja was very happy with her trust. He brought her out of the palace and went to the general's residence. Before they reached the general's residence, the Ghost King had already received the news. However, he did not do anything. He just waved his hand and dismissed his men. Go and watch, he ordered lightly. There was a strange movement in the air before it returned to normal. Outside the general's residence, Lu saw Sima Yue. He brought his men and bowed to her. He smiled and said, "Princess, you're here. Everyone wants to see you." The news of what happened in Yangcheng had already spread. Now, everyone in the general's residence wanted to see her. When they heard that she was coming, everyone was very happy. Lu, you're back so quickly. Sima Yue thought that only the Ghost King could bring them back so quickly. Why are you still standing here? Hurry up and get in. Deja kicked Lu. Lu nimbly dodged the kick. Both of them were reflexes. It seemed like this happened often. Sima Yue saw this scene and smiled. Deja did not have a good life in the past. Fortunately, he had a group of people to accompany him. Let's go. I'll bring you to the general's residence. Everything here was earned by me. Deja smiled proudly. Sima Yue followed him in. However, before they could start looking around the general's residence, they were interrupted by someone. You bastard, look at what you've done. An old man shouted as he came in from outside. When Deja heard this voice, his face that was full of smiles just now immediately sank. Chapter 1908. In 1 second, she remembered, love divided by you. Read book, web quick update. No pop-up window, free to read. Sima Yue looked towards the source of the voice and saw an old man with white hair. His facial features were similar to Deja's, but his face was full of anger, as if Deja had made a big mistake. Before she could ask Deja who this person was, he ran towards Deja like the wind and punched him in the face. Deja didn't resist and took the punch head on. The corner of his mouth cracked and blood flowed out. You killed Meng Ruji. Do you know how important the Meng family is to us? Huh? Do you know how big of a blow it is to the D family by killing Meng Ruji? Ah, the old man said as he punched Deja a second time. But this time, Deja did not take it obediently. He moved his body and dodged it. His actions seemed to make the old man even angrier. He adjusted his body and punched Deja again. Deja dodged again. Who is this person? He even dares to hit my cousin. Sima Yue asked Lu. That is Master's grandfather, the third master of the D family. The head of the D family is the first master, the third master's brother. Lu explained. Sima Yue looked at Deja, who was hiding in the courtyard, and was very surprised. Didn't they say that cousin was not afraid of anyone and had a bad relationship with the family? Why is he so tolerant toward his grandfather? Now, the only person who can speak in front of Master is the third master. Lu sighed. What happened? You have heard of Master's life in the D family. Because of his poor talent, he was always bullied and almost died a few times. It was only after the Princess of the Dark Night found out that his situation changed. Lu said. Sima Yue nodded. She knew about this. Deja was not talented in the past. In this world where strength was everything, it was natural that he did not have a good life. Later on, it was his mother who improved his physique and increased his talent. Therefore, the person closest to him was his mother. It was also because of this that he always wanted to save his mother. His parents don't care. Master's father never saw him. As for Master's mother, she passed away a long time ago. Otherwise, Master wouldn't have to suffer so much. Lu said with heartache. After all, she was still a princess. When she was around, she had to give some face to the royal family. But now that she was gone, Deja's life was like a nightmare. It is precisely because of what happened in the past that the relationship between Master and the D family is not good. Master even ignores them. If it had not been for the princess, he might have already exterminated the D family. But the princess said that the Master's reputation was already like this. If he exterminated his own family, the Ghost King would not agree to the royal family having such a person. At that time, he would be in a lot of trouble. That was why the D family survived until today. Lu continued. The D family also knows that they did not treat Master well in the past. Therefore, they rarely appear in front of Master. They are afraid that they will be killed accidentally. Third Old Master treated him very well. Not very well. When young Lord almost died, he spoke up for him a few times. But it was very rare in that family. But at that time, Third Old Master did not have any real power, so he was not of much help to him. D. Lu said, "Cousin seems to be a ruthless person, but he is actually very loyal. Therefore, he still remembers his grandfather, who once spoke up for him when he was in despair. Unfortunately, someone did not cherish him." Sima Yue looked at Third Old Master D. Every move he made was ruthless. He did not care about Diju at all. Third Old Master was not like this in the past. But after all these years, he always thinks that he is Master's grandfather. He used to treat Master well. Plus, Master treated him courteously, so he really thinks that he is someone important. Di Lu snorted disdainfully. It was obvious that he was very dissatisfied with Third Old Master D. Sigh. Some people are just shameless. Sima Yue sighed. When Dija wanted to reply to her, he realized that she had disappeared. When he turned his head, he saw that she had appeared in front of Dija. She lifted her leg, and Third Old Master D flew out in front of her. Bang! He fell onto the rockery in the courtyard, smashing it into pieces. This scene shocked everyone in the courtyard, especially Di Lu, Di Yi, Di Er, and the others who rushed over. They looked at Sima Yue with shock and admiration. Although they had always wanted to do this, none of them had the guts. They did not expect that she would do what they wanted to do the first time she came. Dija was a little surprised as well. He saw Sima Yue turn around and smile at him, saying, "I'm sorry for ruining your garden. I felt that my eyes were hurting from looking at it, so I did it myself." "Who are you? How dare you hit me?" Third Old Master D crawled up from the ground and pointed at Sima Yue. He even shouted at Dija, "How could you just watch someone hit your grandfather?" Sima Yue turned around and looked at Third Old Master D. She sneered, "So what if I hit you? If you continue to mess around here, I will chop you into pieces." "You." Third Old Master D was stunned when he saw her face. He even forgot to retract his finger that was pointing at her. "What about me?" Sima Yue knew that he recognized her face and continued, "Cousin doesn't want to hit you, but that doesn't mean that I can't. I don't have a good impression of people who don't respect their elders and people who demand repayment. Or do you think that I don't have the right to touch you? What about you? Cousin has already repaid everything you did in the past. My mother saved the lives of your D family. If I'm in a bad mood one day, I might just take it back. Anyway, I am now the goddess of massacre, so I don't have to worry about anything. Do you want to try?" "You." Dija will not agree to it. Third Old Master D looked at her face and felt that she was even scarier than Yu Kaluo. "What does it have to do with me whether he agrees or not? I can do whatever I want. Who can stop me?" Sima Yue sneered. "If you do anything to Cousin again, I don't mind killing you." Scram! Third Old Master D knew about what happened in Yang City and also knew what Ghost King's attitude was. He did not dare to gamble with his life against the Ghost King's beloved daughter, who was known as the Goddess of Massacre. Thus, he left with his tail between his legs. Dija did not say a word from start to end. Sima Yue turned around and saw his emotionless face. She walked over and patted the back of his head. "He treated you well for a while, so you don't have to remember it forever. Some people treated you well in the past, but that doesn't mean that they will treat you well now. You have repaid him so much and tolerated him for so many years. That's enough. Why do I feel like you are patting a puppy?" Dija stared at her for a while before saying this. Sima Yue smiled until her eyes narrowed. "How do you know how I feel?" Everyone. Chapter 1909. Sima Yue looked at him, not afraid that he would be angry. "Are you sure that I won't be angry with you?" Dee just slapped her hand away. So many subordinates were watching. "Yes," she answered naturally. Although her hand was slapped away, she was not angry. She took out a handkerchief and passed it to him. Dija took the handkerchief and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. His cracked lips still hurt. "I'm not actually repaying his kindness. I just don't want to forget that little bit of warmth. Deja suddenly explained. I know. Sima Yue understood his feelings. Before he met Yukoluo, his life was dark, hopeless, and cold. Although Third Master D, as his grandfather, should have given him a good life, and his protection was something he should do, but in that environment, it became rare and precious. He did not want to forget that period of time. Although it was dark, it was still his past. Thank you. Deja was grateful that she stood up for him. He was grateful that she understood him. You don't have to thank me. But what's the matter with Meng Ruji? Sima Yue asked. Meng Ruji was Anaheim's subordinate. He was also the second in command of the Meng family. We found out that he was helping Anaheim to contact Wang Ye, so we killed him. To a certain extent, the D family's finances depend on the Meng family. Deja did not explain much, but Sima Yue understood what was going on. He killed Meng Ruji, so the Meng family naturally would not let it go. However, they could not do anything to Deja, so they vented their anger on the D family and restricted them financially. The D family knew about this matter. Although they were very angry with Deja, he was no longer the little boy who could be bullied by others. He was the god of death. Whoever provoked him had to be careful of their own life. Therefore, no one from the D family dared to come, except for Third Old Master D. Third Old Master D is usually fine, but he would go crazy from time to time. He was easily swayed and easily persuaded by others. He also thought that he had a say in the master's words, so this kind of thing happened. Di Lu added in a low voice. Deja glanced at him, and his body immediately stiffened. He was annoyed at himself for speaking out of turn. Is the Meng family's finances very good? Sima Yue asked. Yes, it's the biggest business family in the capital. 1/3 of the capital's businesses belong to the Meng family. Deja said. Sima Yue muttered to herself. Toward the second in command of the clan, he still killed him just like that. There was no one else who could be as willful as him. Are you planning to deal with the Meng clan? She asked, but her tone was firm. That's right. Deja admitted. The Meng family has given Anaheim a lot of financial support. If we want to deal with Anaheim, we have to deal with the Meng family first. Since you want to deal with Anaheim, if there's anything I can do, you don't have to be polite with me. Sima Yue said. I won't, and I don't plan to be polite. Deja said. You don't even need to be polite. Do I need to be polite with you? Then why did you say thank you to me just now? Everyone lowered their heads and laughed when they saw that their master had been spared by her. They had never seen Deja like this before. They could see that he was very happy when he was with her. Dilu was right. Sima Yue had a special place in Deja's heart. Greetings to the princess. They came over and bowed to Sima Yue. You must be the leaders of the D family's army, right? I heard Dilu mention you. Sima Yue raised her hand, and everyone stood up straight. Princess, long time no see. The ghost master was still hidden in his cloak, but those who were familiar with him could hear that there was a hint of joy in his voice. Ghost master, long time no see. How have you been? Sima Yue smiled and replied. She was quite emotional about the ghost master. When they first met, things were not good. He even wanted to place restrictions in her body, which triggered her ghost clan's blood, causing her to fall into a coma. Su Jin and Gulang knew about her body's condition and went to the lost place to find a solution for her. They were trapped for so many years. When they met again, they were in the immortal land. Because of those things, they had gone through life and death together. He was very sincere to Deja, which made him accept him. Now that they met again, they could be considered old acquaintances. Ghostmaster, you're back so early. Have you already killed Meng Rahai? De asked. That's for sure. When has the Ghost Master ever failed? Dilu laughed and said, Not only did I kill him, but I also killed the person that the Anaheim sent to save me. The Ghost Master said, Meng Rahai is also from the Meng clan, right? He's so strong that the Ghost Master had to do it. Sima Yue asked. Hearing their names, Meng Rahai and Meng Ruji should be from the same generation. Why did the Ghost Master have to do it himself? Deja understood her doubts and explained, Meng Rahai is the third in command of the Meng clan. Although he doesn't really manage the Meng clan's affairs, his strength is the highest in his generation. Even the Meng clan's patriarch can't compare to him. The reason why the Ghost Master was sent was to ensure that nothing would go wrong. It seems that Meng Rahai's position in the Meng clan is very high. Sima Yue touched her chin. You just killed Meng Ruji and Meng Rahai. I'm afraid that the Meng clan will come looking for you. I'm waiting for them to come looking for me. If they don't make a move, how can they create an opportunity for us? Deja said, I think that the Anaheim won't let you go on like this. She sent 2 experts to save Meng Rahai today. If you go against her now, are you confident that you can win? 30%. Deja said, and this is including the army that I have. Is the Anaheim that strong? The Gue clan was originally very strong. These years, with the help of the Anaheim, they have developed even more power. Moreover, we suspect that they have the support of a hidden clan behind them. Deja said, hidden clan? Sima Yue was a little surprised. There were hidden clans in the human realm, and there was nothing wrong with the Ghost clan having hidden clans. However, it was a little unbelievable that these hidden clans would support the Anaheim. However, after thinking about it, it was nothing more than being driven by benefits. If there are hidden clans involved, then it will be more troublesome. She was a little worried about Deja's situation. She had experienced the power of the hidden clans in the human realm. The ones in the Ghost clan would not be too weak. It would be even more troublesome to deal with them. That's why I need your help at this time. Me? You're not asking me to deal with a hidden clan alone, right? Sima Yue's mouth twitched. How is that possible? I just need you to do something small. When Deja said this, his expression was a little embarrassed. Chapter 19:10. Need her help? Sima Yue stared at him and snorted. Are you doing this on purpose? Did he bring her here on purpose so that she could see all these? Do I need to do all this if I need your help? What are you thinking about? Deja patted his head and took his revenge in the same way. Sima Yue slapped his hand away and glared at him. Then why did you look so embarrassed just now? I want you to go and find that guy MOU. Not to mention getting the MO family to stand on our side. At least don't help Ghost Concubine anymore. Deja and MOU's relationship wasn't very good, so he felt embarrassed. Are you saying that the MO family is Anaheim's people? Sima Yue exclaimed in disbelief. They're not really Anaheim's people, but they've helped Anaheim before. Deja said, we've received news that Anaheim's people are fighting for the MO family. Sima Yue recalled that when she first met MOU, he also said that he wanted to kill her because of Anaheim. It was only later that she learned how to make tea that she managed to keep her life. I don't think MOU will follow Anaheim. Sima Yue said, he's not the kind of person who will submit. Isn't this just in case? Di Lu said, what if Lord MOU agrees to it? Then I'll talk to him, but I don't know where he is now. Sima Yue said, I don't know if he'll listen to me. I think so. After all, that guy cared about her so much. Then where is he? I don't know. But if he knows you're here, he'll come looking for you. Maybe he's already in the imperial capital. Then I'll leave it to you. Anyway, I know that you can find him. Sima Yue did not care about these things. But now, let's continue walking around the garden. Tell me about the current situation. Well, now that you're living in the palace, you know the current situation. It's easier to deal with things in there, or you won't be able to distinguish between friend and foe. Deja said, let's go, we'll talk as we walk. Yes, let me tell you about the palace first. Other than Anaheim, the king has 17 concubines. Out of the 17 concubines, 10 of them followed Anaheim's lead. The rest are basically neutral, Deja said, including my grandmother in Anaheim. Isn't that 19 people? Grandfather is such a playboy. Sima Yue pursed her lips. If Wu Lingyu was like this, she would destroy his D*CK first. This is already considered few. Deja said, there are hundreds of pure soul. All right, if there was no comparison, there would be no harm. The king has hundreds of children. Your mother is the youngest. Then in our generation, there are close to 1,000, but most of them have been released. There are only 70 to 80 of them left in the capital. Then, these people have children, but until now, none of them have been conferred the title of princess. So you're currently the youngest princess, Deja continued. Too many people. How long will that take? You should have a list, right? Just give me the list, Sima Yue said. Deja took out a list. I knew you wouldn't have the patience. I've already prepared it. Sima Yue kept the list, preparing to go back and study it carefully. As for the powers outside the palace, Sima Yue listened to Deja's explanation and took a look around the general's residence, then went back. Deja sent her back to the youthful palace, reminded her to be careful, and to contact him if anything happened, then left the palace. Little princess, Master Wu and the others have returned. The palace maid bowed. Got it. Sima Yue went directly to the side hall, where Wu Lingyu and Black Shadow were. When she went over, Black Shadow and Huan were playing chess in the garden, and Wu Lingyu was deducing something in the corridor. Seeing her come in, the three of them looked over. How's the general's residence? It's quite big, Sima Yue nodded at them, then came to Wu Lingyu's side, saying, Have you told them everything? Once they find the whereabouts of the 4 cardinal deities' seal, they will tell me. Wu Lingyu nodded. What are you deducing? I went out and found an array by chance, but it's incomplete. I'm trying to see if I can deduce the complete array. Wu Lingyu said, You came back just in time. Let's take a look together. Okay, Sima Yue looked at the incomplete array on the ground, her eyes shining. This array is a killing array. That's right, it's one of the top 10 ancient arrays, Wu Lingyu said. Heavens, how did you get this? Are there any other arrays? Sima Yue was excited. Looking at the incomplete array on the ground, she almost pounced on it. Are you talking about the other ancient arrays? Wu Lingyu saw her looking at him expectantly, shook his head, and said, There's only one. All right, one then, it's better than none, Sima Yue said. Let's deduce this array first. Okay. Wu Lingyu liked her attitude, cherishing what she had, and not forcing what she didn't have. Where did you get this formation from? Are there any hints? Sima Yue asked. No, they got it by accident. They only have these pieces of paper. Wu Lingyu handed her the 2 pieces of paper that were placed at the side. Sima Yue looked at the yellowed paper. Each piece of paper had an incomplete drawing. Even if they were put together, they wouldn't be able to piece together a complete array. They would only be able to piece together what Wu Lingyu drew, but there was still a lot missing in the middle. Sima Yue looked at the drawings and knew it was useless. She still had to deduce it herself. So she put down the drawings and began to study it with Wu Lingyu. During this period of time, no one from the palace came to disturb her. She and Wu Lingyu studied together and made some progress, but it was still very difficult to restore the entire array. Shiyu came in from outside, bowed to Sima Yue, and said, Little princess, His Highness Yu Hao is here. Wu Hao. Sima Yue blinked. Who is that? It's His Highness Yudu's posthumous child, Shiyu replied. Yudu's posthumous child? It seems like he came with ill intentions. Sima Yue stood up and clapped her hands. Only then did she notice the injury on Shiyu's face, and her face darkened. He hit you. Yes. Shiyu lowered her head. When His Highness came, this servant said that little princess was busy. He came to my palace and hit my people. Is he bullying me because there's no one in my palace? Sima Yue remembered that those who stayed were all people who serve her mother. She usually didn't beat or scold them. This Yu Hao came to her palace and hit her people. He didn't put her in his eyes at all. She sneered, Shiyu, let's go see this little highness. I'll go with you. Wu Lingyu stood up. There's no need. What kind of waves can a mere Yu Hao cause in my palace? Sima Yue walked out with Shiyu after speaking. Chapter 1911. Sima Yue brought Shiyu to the main hall. Before they even got close, they heard painful groans coming from inside. Tell me, is that bitch Sima Yue hiding somewhere? Where did he hide? This highness will give you one more chance. Speak, where is that little slut? Wu Hao sat on the chair and leisurely looked at the people in the room. Fei Nong stepped on Yang Hui's body and exerted force. Yang Hui, who was lying on the ground, spat out a mouthful of blood. Hee. I advise you to hurry up and say it while His Highness is in a good mood. Otherwise, you'll lose your little life. And Mo Lu said with a chuckle. Little princess Yang Hui. Yu Shiyu exclaimed when she saw Yang Hui being stepped on and the room full of injured people. She immediately covered her mouth. However, she still attracted the attention of everyone in the room. Mo Lu looked over and was about to grab her when a figure suddenly floated in. She was so fast that they couldn't see her clearly. By the time she stopped, Fei Nong had already been thrown out. He slammed into the wall and bounced to the ground. Sima Yue stood beside Yang Hui. She waved her hand and said in disdain, "Such thick skin." Shi came in from outside and helped Yang Hui up from the ground. The rest of the people in the palace supported each other and bowed to Sima Yue, little princess. Shiu, take them down and treat their wounds. Sima Yue ordered. But little princess, we don't need you here. Leave, Sima Yue said calmly. Shiu looked at the severely injured Yang Hui and handed him over to the palace maids to help him down. She then stood behind Sima Yue. You're Sima Yue. Wu Hao stood up from his chair. You look just like your coquettish mother. Pa. Before the crowd could see clearly, Sima Yue had returned to her original position while a clear palm print appeared on Wu Hao's face. You be Astris T.Ch. How dare you hit me? Wu Hao covered his face with his hands. He was completely stunned. Your Highness. Doom and the others were stunned as well. In the entire world of spirits and souls, even a sneeze from the Little Highness would cause a huge uproar. He had never had a small wound since he was young, but now he was slapped by Sima Yue. If the Anaheim knew about this, they would be punished as well. How dare you? Sanji bellowed and attacked Sima Yue. Sima Yue dodged and grabbed Sanji's hand with her right hand. Sanji could not move at all. I don't get it. As Anaheim's precious baby, why would she let people like you be her personal bodyguards? Is she so sure that no one would dare to touch you? She exerted some strength and threw Sanji to the ground, causing cracks to appear on the marble floor. Sanji! When Wei Lu and Fei Nong saw Sanji being subdued so easily, they panicked and attacked Sima Yue at the same time. Be careful, little princess! When Shiu saw Wei Lu and Fei Nong attacking, she stepped in front of Sima Yue and condensed her spiritual power to block their attacks. Although Shiu's strength was not weak, it was still difficult for her to deal with two people. However, when she remembered that Sima Yue was behind her, she forced herself not to retreat and endured the attacks of the two people. Ugh! She felt a burning pain in her internal organs, but she couldn't move away, nor could she retreat. Just when she felt that she could not take it anymore, a hand was placed on her shoulder. That hand was clearly so soft. It was clearly just a light touch on her shoulder, but she felt an endless amount of strength. Little princess, Sima Yue used the strength of the hand on her shoulder to leap and somersaulted over Shiu. She kicked Wei Lu and Fei Nong, sending them flying. The two flew out of the door and landed in the courtyard. The guards who were guarding outside ran in and surrounded the entire courtyard. Go to the side and rest, Sima Yue said to Shiu. Little princess. Shiu saw that the guard were Yu Hao's men and was very worried. Don't worry. This is where Mother used to live. I will not let anyone destroy this place. Sima Yue said and looked at Yu Hao. Do you want to go out by yourself, or do you want me to throw you out? Sima Yue, don't be too arrogant. This is the palace, not your human world. Yu Hao shouted. I know. That's why I'm already restraining myself. Sima Yue said. But it's obvious that you don't think so. That's why you came here to beat up my men and destroy my house. What? Are you still standing there without moving? Looks like I have to do it myself. As soon as she finished speaking, she disappeared from where she stood and teleported to Wu Hao's side. Before he could react, she grabbed him by his clothes and threw him out of the room. Then, she went to Sanji's side and kicked him into the courtyard. The guards outside saw that Wu Hao was thrown out and quickly went to catch him. When they saw Sima Yue coming out, they surrounded her. How dare you beat up Little Highness? You don't want to live anymore. One of the guards shouted at Sima Yue. As Little Highness's guards, we will arrest you and bring you to see the Ghost Queen. I am his sister. I beat him up because I'm of the same generation. You are guards, and I am the princess. If you dare to touch me, you will be offending your superiors. Sima Yue sneered. Are you sure you want to try? When she said that, the guards were shaken for a moment. But when they thought of the way Anaheim punished people, they shuddered. The last time Little Highness sneaked out of the palace to play, everyone in the palace was executed. This time, Little Highness was injured under their protection. Would the Anaheim let them go? The answer was definitely no. Rather than being exterminated by the Anaheim, they would rather die in battle now. Your Highness, I'm sorry. The guard then attacked Sima Yue. Sima Yue teleported out of their encirclement, causing them to lose their target. When they attacked again, she disappeared from her original position, but this time, she appeared on the roof. Little B asterisk TCH, do you think you can hide from us? Go and catch her, dead or alive. Wu Hao kicked the guards, and ordered them to chase after her. I advise you to stay down there and not move. Sima Yue stood on the roof. If I were you, I would find a place to hide. Ha ha! Do you think they're idiots? You want them to hide just because you scared them? Don't think that they can. What are you doing? Before Wu Hao could finish his sentence, he felt a tribulation cloud gathering above his head. He was so frightened that his voice broke. Chapter 1912. I'll remember it in 1 second. Read, book, webno pop-up windows. Free to read. The tribulation cloud was slowly gathering above the palace. Compared to the one outside Yangcheng City, it was much milder this time. Even so, the people in the palace were scared to death. The people in the imperial capital were shocked. What's going on? Why is there a tribulation cloud? The people in the imperial capital looked at the tribulation cloud in fear. They were afraid that it would come from above the palace. The people around the palace were so scared that their legs turned to jelly. Someone was going through a tribulation cloud. Would they be considered as one of them? Quick, get out of here. Many people were shouting and running away. They were afraid that they would be treated as one of the tribulation cloud and struck by the tribulation cloud. In the palace maids, guards, masters, and young masters all ran out. When they saw the center of the tribulation cloud, the timid ones fainted. What's going on? Why is there a tribulation cloud? Look at that location. It seems to be the youthful palace. Youthful palace? Isn't that the princess who just came back? That's Sima Yue. Why did she cause such a big commotion when she came back? The king and queen are going over. Should we go and take a look? Let's go. I want to see what Sima Yue wants to do. Sima Yue stood on the roof and looked at the panicked people below her expressionlessly. Because their lives were in danger, many people gathered here. When they saw her, they shouted, "What are you doing?" Sima Yue looked at the person who spoke. It was a concubine from some palace. She was not the person she was waiting for. Hence, she ignored her. The queen is here. Someone shouted, and the surrounding people opened up a path for Ghost Concubine to walk from the back to the front of the crowd. Sima Yue looked at Anaheim. It was the first time they met, but they had fought many times in secret. They looked at each other with killing intent. Sima Yue, what are you doing? Do you want to destroy the entire palace as soon as you come back? Anaheim scolded. How am I trying to destroy the palace? I'm just trying to protect myself. Sima Yue shrugged. Someone wants to kill me. I'm weak and have no foundation in the palace, so I can only use this method to protect myself. Nonsense. You just came to the palace. Who would kill you? Anaheim shouted. Although she really wanted to kill this little B asterisk TCH, she still had to put on an act. Why are there no more? Xiu, bring her out for the concubines to have a look. After Sima Yue finished speaking, Xiu led the palace maids and guards out of Youthful Palace. Each of them had injuries on their faces, and some of them were seriously injured. Seeing that Anaheim wanted to speak, she spoke first. These people are all from my palace. You won't say that they were injured by me and use this as an excuse to trigger the thunder punishment, right? I'm not that bored. Anaheim originally wanted to say this, but since Sima Yue said it first, she couldn't say it. Who wants to kill you? Tell me. I'll help you. Hurry up and stop the lightning tribulation. She saw the innocent look on Sima Yue's face and wished she could go up and ruin her face. I'm afraid that you won't do it, Queen. Sima Yue snorted. The palace is a place with order. If someone really comes to make trouble for you, I, as the queen of the harem, will naturally uphold justice for you. Anaheim said, Thank you, Queen. Sima Yue bowed to Anaheim and said loudly, It's no use hiding in the house. The queen is here. You can't bully me anymore. Everyone looked at the courtyard. After a minute, a few people came out first. When she saw the guards, Anaheim's heart tightened. Imperial grandmother, save me. Yuhao saw that the guards who went out first were fine and ran out, shouting at Anaheim. How? Anaheim saw Yuhao and called out with heartache. Why are you here? Imperial grandmother, save me. Yuhao was scared silly by the thunder punishment. When he saw Anaheim, he could only shout this. Anaheim waved her hand, and Yuhao flew to her side. She stared at Sima Yue and shouted, What did you do to him? See, I told you. It's useless to tell you. Sima Yue said with grievance. What can I do to him? I was in the side chamber, and as soon as he came, he kept beating the people in my palace. You saw what happened to the people in my palace. He didn't have any injuries on his body. Everyone knew Yuhao's character. Sima Yue killed his father. He must hate her to death. When he knew that she was living in the palace, how could he not find trouble with her? Moreover, with Anaheim's love, even if he found trouble with her, who would dare to stand up for her? She could only suffer in silence. She didn't expect that she would use such a method to cause trouble. This time, even if Anaheim wanted to protect Yuhao, she couldn't. Under the eyes of everyone and endangering everyone's safety, unless she didn't want to be the queen, she could only punish Yuhao. When Anaheim saw her grandson frightened to this extent, her heart ached. She looked at Sima Yue with a murderous gaze. Men, lock the little highness in the dark palace. Anaheim ordered. Immediately, someone came up to take Yuhao away. Imperial grandmother, I don't want to go to the dark palace. Yuhao grabbed Sima Yue's hand. Imperial grandmother, you're so powerful. You should just kill that little slut. Nonsense. Anaheim flung Yuhao's hand away and shouted, Take the little highness away. Yuhao wanted to say something, but when he saw the Ghost King suddenly appear beside Anaheim, he didn't dare to say anything and obediently followed. Before he left, he even looked at Sima Yue and used his lips to say, Just you wait. Sima Yue didn't even want to look at him. If it wasn't to avoid trouble, she wouldn't even bother with this kind of person. All right, the person has been punished. Can you stop this now? Anaheim gritted her teeth in hatred. Her precious baby was punished because of this little bastard. She really wanted to tear her apart immediately. Is sending him to the Dark Palace punishment? Sima Yue looked at her in confusion. The Dark Palace is where the palace punishes people. It's extremely cold inside, and you can't use spiritual energy to resist it. You will feel hungry like a normal person. There's also an illusion array inside. If you get hurt in an illusion array, you'll also get hurt. However, this depends on your luck. The Ghost King explained. His tone was calm. He wasn't angry, nor was he afraid of the lightning tribulation. He won't come out by himself, right? Sima Yue doubted Anaheim's credibility. Once you enter, you won't be able to come out before the stipulated time. The Ghost King explained. Yuhao's time is 3 days. Rumble. The rolling tribulation clouds reminded everyone of its existence. Let's stop this first. The Ghost King said. That. Sima Yue touched her nose embarrassedly. Seeing her like this, everyone had a bad feeling. Chapter 1913. I'll remember it in 1 second. Read book, web quick update. No pop-up window. Free to read. Sure enough, the words she said made Anaheim so angry that she almost vomited blood. That, I'm not going through a tribulation, so it won't involve everyone like it did outside Yangcheng. However, Yuhao has already been counted as one of the people going through the tribulation. After saying that, she even smiled apologetically at Anaheim. Well, what? Anaheim was so angry that she trembled. She had already dragged Yuhao through the tribulation. Queen, don't be angry. I'm just trying to protect myself. Don't worry, I'm thinking of staying in the palace, so the tribulation this time won't be too strong. As long as you're an underworld emperor or above, you won't die. The more Sima Yue explained, the paler everyone's faces became. Just as she was speaking, a bolt of tribulation lightning struck down from the sky, and it happened to be in the direction of the Dark Palace. Anaheim didn't even have time to curse before she disappeared from her spot. Everyone present knew what she was going to do. All these years, Yu Hao's heart wasn't even on cultivation, so how could he be an underworld emperor? If the tribulation lightning struck down, would he even have a chance to survive? However, they also knew that the tribulation lightning had to strike someone. Since Yu Hao couldn't take it, someone had to take his place. However, in such an emergency, there weren't any guards in the Dark Palace, so the tribulation lightning would naturally strike Anaheim. Moreover, she had gone to the Dark Palace, so she could only come out after staying in there for 3 days with Yu Hao. Being struck by lightning and injured, and having to stay in there for 3 days, they could imagine how angry Anaheim would be. Looking at the apologetic Sima Yue, they didn't think that this was a coincidence. Seeing that the tribulation lightning was about to strike, she flew into the sky and caught it in midair, preventing it from landing on the palace. With the palace's protective array, the people in the palace weren't hurt. However, seeing the tribulation lightning explode above their heads, the fear in their hearts still lingered for a long time. Moreover, this was the small lightning tribulation that she had mentioned. If it was big, they decided to stay as far away from Sima Yue as possible in the future. They were determined not to find trouble with Sima Yue. Whether she was in a bad mood or decided to go through tribulation for fun, they didn't have the strength to play with her. Sima Yue was in the air. Seeing the fear on everyone's faces, the corners of her mouth curled into a smile. When Anaheim comes out, those people won't find trouble with me anymore. When she entered the palace, she knew that someone would come to find trouble with her. No matter who it was, she planned to make a scene like this. She had to give those people a warning. Otherwise, she wouldn't have the time and energy to deal with them if they came looking for trouble every few days. However, she didn't expect that the first person to cause trouble for her would be Yu Hao. This was an unexpected surprise. From a moment she knew that he had come to the youthful palace, she had started to plan. If she did not peel off a layer of skin from Anaheim, she would not be called Sima Yue. Why do I feel that the lightning tribulation is more powerful in the Dark Palace? Instead, it's lighter in Yu Yue's palace? A concubine voiced out her doubts. That seems to be the case. The lightning tribulation over there seems to be more, and it seems to be thicker. This discovery made everyone's mouth twitch. How is this Sima Yue going through a tribulation? She was simply tricking others. Moreover, how did the tribulation cloud know what she meant? It actually helped her to trick others. This was simply unbelievable. Although it was a small tribulation, it still took a while before it ended. After the tribulation cloud left, Sima Yue came back from the sky. Her clothes were not even messed up. She didn't look like she was struck by lightning at all. She looked like she went up to play. Indeed, she was a monster. As a member of the Ghost Clan, she wasn't afraid of lightning. Have you had enough fun? The Ghost King looked at her and said in a pampering tone. The concubines and princes and princesses looked at each other. The Ghost King's attitude obviously showed that he knew what she was thinking. However, he didn't intend to punish her. He really pampered her like how he pampered her mother. Thinking of her mother, everyone had different thoughts. Sima Yue pouted. I wasn't playing. I was really scared at that time. Don't play with the palace in the future. The Ghost King didn't believe her words and left after reminding her. Seeing that he had left, the people who were watching the show also left. They had to go back and prepare. After 3 days, Anaheim would come out. Who knew which one of them she would vent her anger on? Sima Yue didn't care who Anaheim came out to find trouble with. In any case, she wouldn't dare to provoke her at this time. She could have some peace here for a while. Thinking of this, her mood improved. She returned to the ground, and Shiyu and the rest surrounded her. Little princess, are you all right? I'm fine. This level of lightning tribulation is just for fun. Sima Yue said with a smile. Didn't you just say that it wasn't for fun? Little princess, you're so awesome. You're actually not afraid of the lightning tribulation. You'll get used to it. Do you want to try it? Sima Yue looked at them with sincerity. No. Everyone ran away in an instant. They didn't have her strange body that could even resist the lightning tribulation. If the lightning tribulation struck them today, they would be half dead. Don't be afraid. It's very painful at the beginning, but there will be benefits later on. Sima Yue said. Everyone shook their heads like a rattledrum. Little princess, don't tease us. How can we compare to you? She said with a smile. Then, she was a little worried. This time, Anaheim suffered a big setback. I don't know how she will deal with little princess in the future. Even if this incident didn't happen, she still wouldn't let me off. Sima Yue said. But after this incident, she won't dare to do it openly. As long as I don't go out, she can't do anything to me. That's true. Then little princess should stay in the palace less in the future. Anyway, they were already fighting to the death. Even if this incident didn't happen, Anaheim didn't intend to let her go. Since that was the case, why should she worry about offending her? It was better to have fun like today and think about the future later. Don't worry, I have my own plans. She took out some pills. Give this to everyone and then go back to heal. There's nothing much to do in the palace anyway. After saying that, she went to the side hall and prepared to continue studying the ancient array. Black Shadow and Huan saw that she was still fine and ignored her. They continued to play the game from before. The game had been going on for so many days, and they still hadn't finished. She didn't know if they were playing chess or just killing time. Is it fun? Wu Lingyu looked at her with a smile. It's all right. Actually, I want to see how she'll look like when she comes out in 3 days. But I'm afraid that I'll get beaten up if I gloat, so I'll keep a low profile. Wasn't it too late to keep a low profile now? Chapter 1914. In 1 second, she remembered, Love divided by you? Read book, webno pop-up window, free to read. When Deja heard the commotion in the palace, he wanted to rush into the palace to protect Sima Yue. However, he was stopped by Di. Di said, Master, Princess Yue can handle it herself. Look. Deja looked up and saw the tribulation clouds gathering in the sky. He suddenly laughed. This girl is not someone who will be taken advantage of. Once this matter is made known, no one will dare to provoke her in the future. The Ghost Master saw the tribulation clouds and felt that it was funny. Her way of fighting back was too funny. Pay close attention to the situation in the palace. Knowing that Sima Yue would not be taken advantage of, Deja was relieved. After instructing people to pay close attention to the situation in the palace, he went to handle other matters. When the palace spread the news, Deja laughed happily. Well done. We fought with Anaheim for so long, but we were not able to hurt her at all. The moment she entered the palace, she made Anaheim lose a layer of skin. Ha, not bad. Not bad. Princess is so powerful. The D family army was stunned. She was much more powerful than them. However, Master, Princess injured Anaheim and has to stay in the Dark Palace for 3 days. Will she take revenge on Princess when she comes out? Dilu was worried about Sima Yue's safety. Don't worry. With grandfather around and this matter being blown up, she will not dare to touch Yue for the time being, unless she wants to attract a real tribulation. Deja said, This tribulation is really good stuff. I saw how badly she was struck, but now I realize that it is quite useful. Did you guys record what happened in Yangcheng? We recorded it. Di Lu said. At that time, it was Di Wu who suggested it. He said that he could show it to everyone when he comes back. Then make a copy of this and spread it out. Let everyone see what happened in Yangcheng with their own eyes. Let them see what a real tribulation is. Yes, Master. Show me the recording stone first. You bastards, why didn't you show it to me first? I was so excited to see the princess when I came back that I forgot about it. Di Lu saw Deja getting angry and quickly ran away. I will go and get the shadow stone from Di Wu. Recently, the people in the imperial capital had a kind of heartfelt fear towards the thunder tribulation. In the past, they felt that the lightning tribulation was far away from them. Now, they felt that it was very close. 2 days ago, he had just witnessed a small lightning tribulation. Who would have thought that news of the incident in Yang City would spread in just 2 days? The lightning that filled the sky and that terrifying aura made their hearts tremble even though they were separated by time and space. Thinking back to the tribulation cloud that day, they felt a deep fear towards Sima Yue. Don't ever provoke her again. Not only could he not provoke her, he also wanted others not to provoke her. If she was unhappy and attracted the lightning tribulation, he would be implicated. Hence, Sima Yue didn't know that her position in people's hearts had already reached a shocking level. It was simply enough to make adults change their expressions and children cry when they hear her name. 3 days later, Anaheim brought Yu Hao out of the dark palace. The palace maids and guards who were guarding outside immediately went forward and escorted the two of them back to their respective palaces. Yu Hao's cultivation was low, and he had stayed in the dark palace for 3 days. During these 3 days, he was hungry and cold like a normal person. He couldn't even use his spiritual power to resist the cold. When he came out, he was hungry, thirsty, and cold. He was completely exhausted. He had never suffered like this in his entire life. But as compared to before, he was still considered better. Anaheim was the one who was tortured for 3 days. At the start, she had blocked the lightning tribulation for Wu Hao. Although her cultivation was not bad, it was after all heaven's lightning, and she suffered quite a bit of injuries. Furthermore, the injuries left behind by the lightning tribulation were not of much use to normal pills. Hence, after staying in the dark palace for 3 days with injuries, one could imagine her condition when she came out. What made her want to vomit blood was that the news had already spread throughout the capital. Not only did they know that Yu Hao had tried to kill Sima Yue, causing her to use the lightning tribulation to retaliate, they also knew that she had put herself in a difficult situation because of protecting Yu Hao. Not only that, those people who saw the lightning tribulation in Yangcheng were very afraid of Sima Yue. If she would make a move on her, she was afraid that it would cause too much public anger. Hence, she couldn't touch her now. She laid on her phoenix bed and was so angry that she broke her fingernails. She had never been in such a difficult situation in her life, and it was all because of that little slut. Queen, don't be angry and hurt your body. Anaheim's head palace made Hexiang comforted. No matter how much that Sima Yue can attract the lightning tribulation, she is just a young and inexperienced lass. She won't be able to cause any waves. It was this young and inexperienced lass that caused me to suffer the greatest setback in my life. Anaheim said angrily, I can't take this lying down. If I don't kill her, I won't be able to vent my anger. I'll also let down doer who died. Queen, don't lose your composure because of a little girl. Blue River walked in from outside. Seeing her pale face, he slightly furrowed his brows. How did you get so heavily injured? Queen blocked the lightning tribulation for His Highness and then stayed in the dark palace for 3 days. She's already a bit better. When she first came out, she looked even scarier. Hexiang said, This Sima Yue. Blue River's eyes revealed an ominous glint. It looks like I can't let her live. What are you planning on doing? Hexiang asked. Now isn't the time to make a move. I know, Blue River said. I won't make a move while she's in the palace, but she won't stay in the palace forever. As long as she goes out, it's hard to say whether she'll live or die. Do you have any ideas? Anaheim asked. I heard that she treated Yu Kaluo's former palace maids and guards quite well. Blue River asked. Yes. Hexiang nodded. Just because His Highness people beat up her palace people, she beat him up as well. Then that's easy. I remember that a few of Yu Kaluo's guards and palace maids went missing after going out on a mission. It seems like they were locked up. If we can find those people and spread the news, she'll naturally leave the palace. But she can attract lightning tribulation. No matter how many people we send, it won't be enough. Hexiang said, Those people are all useless trash. This time, we'll definitely need some strange abilities. How could normal people do it? Blue River said confidently. Thinking about those people under him, Anaheim regained her confidence. Then I'll leave this matter to you. Don't worry. I'll take revenge for you. Blue River smiled. Hexiang looked at his smile from the side. Although she had seen it many times, she still couldn't resist his smile. Unfortunately, his smile was only for Anaheim. Blue River gave Anaheim a checkup. Good. It didn't hurt your core. You just need to rest now. Don't worry about anything else. However, You have to properly control His Highness. If he wasn't so impatient, you wouldn't have to suffer this time. Chapter 19:15. 1 second to remember, love divided by you. Read book, webno pop-up windows, free to read. Anaheim sighed. How could I not know? But that was Duer's only son, and also an extension of his bloodline. He's no longer here, so when I see this child, I think of him. I'm the Ghost Empress, so what kind of life can I give him? So I just let him be. Indeed, in the past, no one dared to touch a single hair on Yuhao's head. Who wouldn't be scared away when they heard his name? Originally, this kind of life was nothing. After all, no one dared to provoke her. But Sima Yue appeared and made her suffer such a big loss for the first time. Blue River knew how much she treasured Yuhao, so he didn't say much. He just stood up and retreated, saying, "Rest well. I'll go make the arrangements first." "Go, I'll have to trouble you." Anaheim smiled at him. That weak appearance of hers didn't have the strength and fierceness of the past. Blue River gave her a deep look, then turned and left the palace. "Queen, just now, Lord Blue River looked even scarier than before," Lotus Fragrance said. Anaheim touched her face, and a smile appeared on her face. She didn't look as weak as before. When dealing with men, especially men who admire you, sometimes you just need to let yourself be weak. She chuckled. Blue River's ability isn't bad. If it wasn't for thinking of the past, Anaheim's gaze became somewhat gloomy. If she hadn't entered the palace at that time, her life would be different. "Queen." Lotus Fragrance was her former maid, so she naturally knew what she was thinking. She called her with heartache. "You can leave. I want to rest alone for a while." Ghost Concubine closed her eyes, concealing all her emotions. Hexiang curtsied and retreated with the palace maids. Sima Yue heard about Anaheim's situation in her own palace. Seeing Xiu lose her usual composure and dance with joy, she also laughed. "Since you're so happy, let's celebrate tonight. But remember to close the door. Otherwise, we'll attract gossip again." "All right, then I'll go arrange it. Tonight, we'll celebrate with good food and drinks." After Xiu finished speaking, she left excitedly. Sima Yue looked at her and shook her head with a smile. She turned her head and saw the palace maid, Lung Yun, standing by the side. Her expression was a little complicated. She asked, "What's wrong, Lung Yun? Are you unhappy?" "No, little princess. This servant is just a little sad." Lung Yun replied respectfully. "Sad? Why?" Sima Yue asked curiously when she saw the tears in her eyes. This servant thought of this servant's brother. If he was still here, he would definitely be very happy to see Miss being so powerful. Lung Yun replied, "Your brother? Are they also from the youthful palace?" Sima Yue asked. "Yes, but he's no longer here." Lung Yun said. "Dead?" Lung Yun shook her head. After the princess had an accident, my brother and a few people went out of the palace while on a mission, wanting to find the princess's whereabouts. Then, he never came back. We haven't been able to contact them for a long time. They all said that brother and the others are no longer here. Where's their life jade? We're all servants. How can we have life jade? Lung Yin said sadly. Since it's just a loss of contact, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're dead. I'll let my cousin and the others look for them later. Maybe there's still hope. Sima Yue said. When Lung Yin heard this, she knelt down in front of her. She kowtowed while crying. "Thank you, little princess. Thank you, little princess." "All right, if you don't get up, I won't talk to my cousin anymore," Sima Yue said. Elling Yun's movements paused. Her body stayed in place. Then, seeing that Sima Yue didn't seem to be joking, she immediately stood up. "Tell me first what's going on," Sima Yue said. After the princess came back from the human realm, she washed her face with tears all day in the palace. Later, we heard that something happened. Later, the princess went out, saying that she was going to find the king, but she never came back. At that time, we wanted to find the princess, but the entire youthful palace was forbidden to leave at that time, so we couldn't find out anything. Later, when the youthful palace was lifted, we found out that something had happened to the princess. Lungyan talked about what happened at that time. Her tears still couldn't stop flowing. Sima Yue knew that her mother went to find her grandfather, and asked to be suppressed. At that time, some people said that the princess had been killed. Some people said that the princess was taken away. Later, the king ordered that no one was allowed to discuss this matter. We didn't believe those news. My brother and the others wanted to go out of the palace to find it. Later, there was a mission that allowed them to go out of the palace, so they thought of a way to participate. After leaving the palace, they went to find the princess's whereabouts. At first, there was still news, but after a few years, the news stopped. Lung Yin said, "It's been hard on you." Sima Yue could imagine how difficult the life of the people in the youthful palace was after her mother was suppressed. Under such circumstances, Lung Yun's brother and the others still tried to go out and find the whereabouts of her mother. Their feelings for her mother were self-evident. "We're not embarrassed. It's just that we haven't found the princess's whereabouts." Lung Yun felt that it wasn't right to say that. Sima Yue would be sad if she heard it. "The princess must be fine." "I know," Sima Yue said. "Mother is still alive." "Really?" Lung Yun wiped her tears. "Little princess, do you know the princess's whereabouts?" "I know, but it's useless to know now. Don't think about this. I'll tell you if there's any follow-up news. I must save my mother, and I must find your brother and the others." Sima Yue said. "Thank you, little princess." Lung Yun's tears didn't stop. When Shiyu came in again, her tears were still falling. Shiyu asked doubtfully, "What's wrong?" "Little princess, did Lung Yun make you angry?" "No, Shiyu. You came at the right time. You persuade her. I'll go out of the palace." Sima Yue said. "Little princess, you're going out?" "Yes, I'm going to the general's mansion." Sima Yue said. "Isn't it too dangerous to go out of the palace at this time?" She was worried. She didn't know why she suddenly wanted to go out. They were not prepared at all. "No, I'll let Ling Yu and the others go with me. You continue to prepare dinner. I'll rush back for dinner." Sima Yue said and went out of the palace. She found Wu Lingyu and He Ying and went out of the palace together. Seeing this, Shiyu didn't stop her. After she left, she asked Lung Yun why she was crying. Lung Yun told her what Sima Yue said. She was silent after hearing it. After a while, she patted Lung Yun's shoulder. "We followed 2 good masters." She just hoped that it was not too late. Chapter 1916. In 1 second, she remembered Love Divided by You. Read book, webno pop-up window, free to read. Sima Yue, Wu Lingyu, Black Shadow, and Huan went to the general's residence. It was Dija's first time seeing Black Shadow and Huan, but he had heard about their deed from Di Lu and Di Wu. "Why are you here?" Dija asked her. "I came to find you for something." Sima Yue said. "Are you busy?" "It's nothing. If there's anything you want me to do, just send a message." Dija said, "If there's anything, let's sit down and talk." Sima Yue and the other 3 sat down. The Ghost Master looked at Black Shadow and Huan and asked, "These are the 2 people who were protecting you outside Yangcheng, right? I heard that the 2 of you have strange movements. Where are you from?" This. Sima Yue was in a difficult position. She brought Black Shadow and Huan out just to let them get some fresh air, not to let people know their identities. "There's nothing to hide," Huan said. "The 2 of us are from the underworld and were ordered by the King of Hell to protect Mississippi. Underworld? Miss?" Everyone in the room looked at Sima Yue and Black Shadow in surprise. Everyone was guessing the identity of Black Shadow and Huan, but they didn't expect them to be from the legendary underworld. And why did they call her Miss? She wasn't from the underworld, was she? Isn't the underworld a legendary place? The Ghost Master indeed knew about the underworld. "Before I came to the Ghost Realm, I went to the underworld by chance and met Ming and Huan. Black Shadow and Huan have special identities, so I hope you can keep this a secret." Sima Yue said. "Haha, that's easy. Since we're here to protect you, we naturally won't tell anyone and cause you trouble. But does grandfather know?" Dija asked. The appearance of people from the underworld in the Ghost Realm's palace was not a small matter. "Grandfather knows. He knew when he saw them." Sima Yue replied. That's good. Tell me, what do you want from me?" Dija asked. "It's like this. I want you to help me find the whereabouts of a few people." After Sima Yue finished speaking, She told him about how Brother Ling Yun and the other Imperial guards left the palace to search for Yu Kaluo's whereabouts. I know you have spies everywhere, so see if you can find them. They're quite loyal to Ani. However, there's been no news for so many years. It is highly possible that Deja looked at Sima Yue and told her not to get her hopes up. I know. Sima Yue nodded. If he's really dead, we need to know something that can make Ling Yun and the others give up and stop waiting. All right, leave it to me. Deja agreed without hesitation. Those who were loyal to his aunt were the ones he wanted to protect. Thank you, cousin, Sima Yue said gratefully. Since it's Ani's people, there's no need to thank me. Deja didn't like her thanking him. By the way, something seems to have happened to the Mo clan. Something happened to the Mo clan? What's going on? We're not very clear about this. When we were investigating Mo's whereabouts these days, we found that he had returned to the Mo clan a long time ago. Deja said, but the news of the Mo clan is generally not easy to find out, so we don't know what happened. Sima Yue frowned slightly. Moj once told her that Mou had handed over the affairs of the Mo clan to his clansmen. He usually didn't care about it, so he was often not in the Mo clan. Now that he had returned to the Mo clan, it meant that something must have happened to the Mo clan, and it was not a trivial matter. No wonder Mou didn't come to her or contact her when the incident in Yangqing City was so big. It turned out that something had happened. Deja saw that she didn't speak and lowered her head to think about something, so he didn't disturb her. After a while, she looked up at him and asked, do you know where the Mo clan is? Are you going to the Mo clan? Deja asked. I want to have a look. I haven't been to the Mo clan either. Mou and Moj have invited me before. This time, I'll go and see if I can help. Sima Yue said. Mou and she had a good friendship in the human world, and he taught her a lot of underworld skills. After coming to the ghost realm, he also asked Moj to protect her. She has always remembered this friendship in her heart. The Mo clan's matter this time should not be small, otherwise, with his temperament, he would not stay in the Mo clan all the time. Although she didn't have much strength, it was good to go and have a look. Maybe there was something she could help with. Deja was not surprised by her decision. With his understanding of her, he would be surprised if she didn't care about this matter. I naturally know the location of the Mo clan, but if you go out of the city now, I'm afraid it will be very dangerous. Moreover, I'm afraid Grandfather won't let you go out. Deja said, Grandfather just doesn't want me to go to find my mother. If I go to other places, he won't care about me. Sima Yue said, if he doesn't want me to leave and not come back. It was a threat, a blatant threat. But Deja knew that the Ghost King would definitely fall for it. What about Anaheim? She can't touch you in the palace, but once you leave the imperial capital, I'm afraid you will have a lot of trouble. Deja was still a little worried. Don't worry, there are Ling Yu and Huan. Sima Yue said. Okay then. Deja told her the location of the Mo clan. Recently, the Soul Society has been restless. I have to deal with Anaheim and deal with the affairs of the Soul Society, so I can't accompany you. But you know the contact information of the D family army. If there is anything, just contact them. Take this. With it, you can also mobilize the armies of various cities. Sima Yue took the token that Deja took out and said, can I go directly to the city lord? Well, Wang Ye, the duke, the city lord, anyone can do it. Deja said, I see. Thank you, cousin. Sima Yue smiled and put away the token. If you have any news about Lung Yu and the others, you have to inform me, okay? Okay. Because there was something on her mind, Sima Yue didn't stay for long and went back to the palace. It just so happened that Shiyu and the others had prepared all the food, so she decided to celebrate with them first. The matter of the Mo clan would be discussed with the Ghost King the next day. Halfway through dinner, Shiyu and the others suddenly knelt down and kowtowed to Sima Yue. Sima Yue held a wine glass and said, What are you doing? Little princess, we all know that you specially went to General D for the matter of Lung Yu and the others, and even hit the Little Highness for us. The little princess has done us a great favor. We can't repay it, even if we work like cows and horses. Yang Hui took the lead and said, His injury was so serious. If it weren't for the medicinal pills given by Sima Yue, how could he recover so quickly? She really treated them well. Okay, you guys, I don't want you to work like cows and horses. As long as my mother can see you again when she comes back, it's fine. Sima Yue waved her hand and lifted them all up. In addition, when I'm not in the palace, you have to protect the youthful palace, okay? Chapter 1917. In 1 second, she remembered, love divided by you? Read book, web quick update. No pop-up window, free to read. Shiyu and the others were all stunned. Little princess, are you leaving the palace? Well, I have something to do. Sima Yue said, it shouldn't take long. You have to guard this place well. Don't let others destroy Yue Palace. Little princess, let's go with you. Yang Hui said, no need. Your injuries have not fully recovered, and the place I'm going is not suitable for many people. Little princess, where are you going? Shiyu asked. The Mo clan. Sima Yue said, it's very safe there, so you don't have to worry. Then we will wait here for little princess to come back. Shiyu and the others all understood that Sima Yue would not change her decision, which was very similar to the princess. Since she decided not to take them, she would not take them. Well, you stay here and wait for me to come back. Sima Yue said and raised her wine glass. Don't think about other things, come. Let's toast and celebrate what makes us happy. Yes, Anaheim was forced by the little princess to take this loss. We should really celebrate. Cheers. Early the next morning, Sima Yue went to find the Ghost King. The Ghost King was in seclusion before, but Deja interrupted him, and he went to bring Sima Yue back. After dealing with some things, he continued his seclusion. Except for the time when Sima Yue attracted the Thunder Tribulation, he did not come out. Sima Yue came to the place where the Ghost King was in seclusion for the first time. The two people guarding outside were the same two people who stopped Deja before. When they saw her coming in, they bowed slightly. Little princess, is grandfather in seclusion? Sima Yue asked. Yes, but the king is not in seclusion. If little princess has something to do, we can also inform him for you. One of them said, sorry to trouble you. Sima Yue smiled at the two of them and stood there waiting. The person who spoke turned around and went in. The other person saw Sima Yue quietly observing the courtyard and felt that it was different from what he had imagined. The person who could cause such a big commotion was actually such a quiet person. After a while, the person who went in came out and said to Sima Yue, little princess, please. Thank you. Sima Yue nodded and followed him in. After the guard brought Sima Yue in, he came out and continued to guard the door with another guard. This little princess is really different. She is indeed different from the other princesses and princes. No wonder the king likes her so much. He rejected everyone else who came, and only she was allowed to enter. Little princess, your future is limitless. Judging from her behavior just now, and thinking about what she had done before, she was definitely a person who was not inferior to the Dark Princess. Sima Yue came to the Ghost King's cultivation room. It was very empty, and there were not many decorations. When she entered, she saw him sitting on the cultivation platform. Grandfather! She curtsied politely. The Ghost King looked at her. His eyes were faint. What are you looking for me for? Grandfather, I want to go out of the palace. Sima Yue directly stated her purpose. What are you going out for? Cousin said that something happened to the Mo clan. I want to go and see. Sima Yue said, I have a good relationship with MOU and MOG. They took care of me when I was in the human world and when I first arrived in the ghost realm. Now that they are in trouble, I naturally want to see if I can help. Do you know that you're now the princess of the ghost realm? I brought you back personally, and your every move represents my meaning? The Ghost King said. Sima Yue raised her head in surprise. Her status was so high. She could actually represent the Ghost King. Seeing the surprise in her eyes, the Ghost King chuckled. If I say you can, then you can. Sima Yue curled her lips. What, wasn't this teasing her? No. She looked at him in shock. Did he mean what she thought? The Ghost King just looked at her and didn't say anything, but she understood that he meant that. He gave her the supreme power. "Grandfather, aren't you afraid that I will use the power you gave me to do bad things?" she asked. "If so, then these things should happen." The Ghost King murmured. Seeing that Sima Yue was still a little puzzled, he said, "If you want to go, then go. Bring more people." "I'm not used to bringing people," Sima Yue said. "Then let them stay in the dark. Either don't go or bring people. You can choose directly." The Ghost King said so his meaning was set. In order to leave, she had to make a choice. "Then let them hide well. Don't let me find them. Otherwise, I will chase them away." She could be considered to have compromised. Because she had hidden too many secrets in the past, she didn't like to be with too many strangers. Now it had become a habit. "Han Feng and Han Shan will arrange everything for you," the Ghost King said. She didn't know who Han Feng and Han Shan were, but as long as they didn't disturb her, it didn't matter who they were. "Then I will go back and prepare before leaving." After Sima Yu finished speaking, she bowed and left. When she was about to reach the door, she stopped, turned around, and said, "Now that the heavenly Tao is incomplete, even if you advance to Emperor Monarch, you won't be recognized by the heavenly Tao. If I want to become an emperor, I have to find another way." The Ghost King watched her leave. He didn't expect that she would suddenly say such a method. He was surprised and happy. Happy. How long has it been since he had these emotions? "What method do you have?" The Ghost King was speechless. Why did he ask her this? She coincidentally knew that the heavenly Tao was incomplete. Even he couldn't do anything about it. What method could she come up with? Just as he was lost in thought, Sima Yu came back and sat in front of him. She crossed her legs and sat down face to face with him. "Grandfather, you also know that the heavenly Tao is incomplete. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in seclusion here. Instead, you would be trying to break through to Emperor." Sima Yue raised her head and looked at him. "Haven't you thought about finding a way? The heavenly Tao has changed for hundreds of thousands of years. If there was a way, there wouldn't be no emperor until now." Although the Ghost King was unwilling, this was the truth. Aunt Feng used a secret method to advance to emperor. But in the end, she was still not recognized by the heavenly Tao. Sima Yoyue's words were like a bomb, setting off huge waves in the Ghost King's heart. Was there really someone who advanced to emperor? Did that mean that he could also? Sima Yue ignored the fluctuations in his heart and continued. "Grandfather, do you know the origin of life? The real origin of life should be in the chaotic world." The Ghost King said. "That's right. The chaotic world created life, but in the end, all life left the chaotic world. But I think, since life originated there might be an opportunity for change." Chapter 1918. In 1 second, she remembered Love Divided by You. Read book, web no pop-up windows, free to read. The chaotic world, could that be an opportunity? For some reason, when he heard her say that, he felt that it was possible. After all, that was the place where life originated. I think, since that place can produce life, it might be of help to the current situation. Sima Yue said. But no one can go to the chaotic world anymore. The Ghost King said, "Even I have only heard of it, but have never been there." Sima Yue took out a jade bottle and placed it in the Ghost King's hand. "There is nothing left in the chaotic world now. There is only the white mist from the river that gave birth to life everywhere. This is the water from the river. If there is anything that can help, this is the only thing." "Where did you get this? You went to the chaotic world?" The Ghost King held the jade bottle, but did not immediately check the situation inside. Instead, he looked at her and asked, "When I was in the human realm, my soul went to the chaotic world, but Lingyu brought it out. Some time ago, because of some things, I went there again. This is what I brought back the last time. Don't be nervous. I'm fine. I came out in one piece. Take a look at this. Do you think it will be useful?" The Ghost King looked at the jade bottle and looked at her strangely. "This is all the water from the river." "Yes, if it is not enough, I have more," Sima Yue said. The jade bottle she gave him was not an ordinary one. The capacity inside was almost comparable to a small river. But compared to the one in the Spirit Pagoda, it was insignificant. The Ghost King wanted to ask her if she had moved the entire river out, but he resisted the urge. He poured out a little bit of the river water and could feel a special power spreading in his palm. "How is it, grandfather? Do you think this will be useful?" Sima Yue asked. The Ghost King did not have any expectations at first, but after his palm absorbed the power, he was ecstatic. "It is useful. I can feel a slight difference in the power in my body." The Ghost King looked at the jade bottle in his hand excitedly. Just a little bit of it made him feel different. If he used all of it, he did not know if it would be useful. Moreover, he felt that the heavenly Tao in his body seemed to have changed a little. Sima Yue clapped her hands and said, "Grandfather, you should study this carefully. I won't keep you any longer." She didn't know much about this thing, so it was useless even if she kept it. After all, the Ghost King was the Ghost King. He knew a lot more than she did. If even he couldn't figure out how to use this, then she wouldn't know either. All right, the Ghost King didn't keep her. He needed to study it carefully to see how it worked. Sima Yue returned to her palace and told Wu Lingyu and Huan to get ready. At this time, the two guards who were previously guarding the door came to Youthful Palace. Han Feng, Han Shan come to report to the little princess. The two of them saluted together, their attitude very respectful. "So Cold Wind and Cold Mountain are you?" Sima Yue said. "Do you know my request?" "The king has already told us." Han Shan said. "We will follow from a distance with our men and will not disturb the little princess." "That's good. However, we need Mrs. Aura." After Han Feng finished speaking, he came to Sima Yue's side and patted her gently on the shoulder. A white thing floated out of her body and fell into Han Feng's hand. Sima Yue didn't feel any discomfort in her body, so she didn't say anything. "This is just the little princess's aura. It won't hurt your body. In addition, you can use this to contact us." Black Wind gave her a sound stone. Sima Yue put it away. After thinking for a while, she called out a few scarlet bees. "You can take this with you." Han Feng accepted the scarlet bees, guessing that they were her contracted beasts. When the time came, they would be able to contact her directly. Sima Yu, Wu Lingyu, and the others left. They directly cut through the void and left. Han Shan said, "Let's go." Han Feng glanced at him and said, "Let's go find the king first." Han Shan wanted to say, "Didn't they just come from the king? Why do they have to go back?" However, seeing his serious expression, he didn't say anything and followed them back to the place where the Ghost King was in seclusion. The Ghost King saw them and asked, "What's the matter?" "King, do you know that the little princess is a soul body?" Han Feng's words stunned Han Shan on the spot. "It's because of this that I let the two of you lead the team. No matter if it's a soul body or a physical body, she is the princess of the Ghost Clan. You just have to remember this." The Ghost King said, "Yes." Han Feng knew that the Ghost King should have known long ago. The Ghost King watched Han Feng and Han Shan leave and continued to study the water of chaos. Not many people knew that Sima Yue had left the palace. When Anaheim found out, she had already left for a long time. She had lost the initiative and didn't know where she went. She could only wait for news of her before taking action. Half a month later, Sima Yue came to a bustling city. They didn't go directly to find her, but found an inn to stay in. Sima Yue pushed open the window of the room. There were not many pedestrians on the adjacent street. Wu Lingyu came behind her, hugged her from behind, put his chin on her shoulder, and said, "It seems that something has happened to the Mo clan. Well, according to my cousin, this Mo city is very prosperous, but now there are not many people on the streets, and many shops are closed." Sima Yue analyzed, "I think they should have all gone back to the Mo clan." It seems that the Mo clan has encountered a lot of trouble this time. "When are we going?" Wu Lingyu asked. "Tomorrow, after such a long journey, everyone is a little tired. Only by having a good rest can we better face the unknown situation." Sima Yue said, "I'll also let the bees check and see if they can find anything." Unfortunately, this day and night, the scarlet bees returned without success. Sima Yue was not disappointed. If a big clan like the Mo clan wanted to hide something, then outsiders would definitely not be able to find anything. They came to the largest shop in the city and said to the shop assistant who greeted them, "I want to see your shopkeeper." Several guests. "I'm sorry, our shopkeeper is busy now, so it's not convenient to see guests." The shop assistant said apologetically, "If you want to buy anything, I can introduce it to you." "I don't want to buy anything." Sima Yue took out a token and handed it to him. When the shop assistant saw the token, his expression immediately changed. He took the token and said, "Please wait a moment. I'll talk to the shopkeeper." After that, he left from the side door and went to the backyard. After a while, he returned the token to her and said, "The shopkeeper is meeting guests, but he said he can invite you over. Please come with me." Sima Yue and the other three followed the shop assistant to the backyard and came to the living room. When they saw the person sitting in the living room, they were surprised and said, "It's you." Chapter 1919. In 1 second, she remembered, "Love divided by you?" Read book, net no pop-up window, free to read. The person sitting inside was none other than Mo Jean, whom she had seen that day. "Miss, why are you here?" Mo Jean was also surprised to see Sima Yue. "Didn't they say that she went to the imperial capital? Why was she here?" "I heard that something happened to the Mo clan, so I came to see if it was true." Sima Yue said, "When I came to Mo City, I knew that the news was true." "Old John, this is..." The shopkeeper had never seen Sima Yue before. Because of the recent events of the Mo clan, he didn't know much about the outside world. "She is Miss Yue, the princess personally conferred by the Ghost King," Mo Jean introduced. "She is Miss Yue?" The shopkeeper was surprised for a moment, then got up and saluted Sima Yue. "This little one has eyes, but failed to recognize Mount Tai. I didn't recognize Miss. Please forgive me." Shopkeeper is too polite. Sima Yue stepped forward to help him up, looked at Mo Jean and said, "Why are you here? What happened to the Mo clan? Where are Mo Ji and Mou?" "I came out this time for the young master." When Mo Jean spoke of Mo Ji, a worried look appeared on his face. "What happened to Mo Ji?" Mo Jean hesitated for a moment, but still told her the truth. "When we came back from the Nirvana River, we were intercepted halfway. The young master was poisoned and hasn't woken up yet." "What?" Sima Yue was shocked. She and Mo Ji have been separated for 2 or 3 years, but he hasn't woken up yet. "I came out this time to ask Old Su to find the needed medicinal herbs," Mo Jean said. "Have you thought a way to detoxify the poison?" Sima Yue's eyes were full of hope. "No, it's the medicinal herbs for the young master's life. However, the doctors in the clan said that if the poison is not detoxified, the young master is afraid." Mo Jean said. His eyes were red. "Then have you explained it? I know some medical skills too. Bring me there." Sima Yue said. Mo Jean didn't know that Sima Yue had medical skills, but he knew that she had a good relationship with Mo Ji. Knowing that she had medical skills, he wanted her to give it a try. "I've already settled the matters here. I'm about to return to the clan. Princess, please follow me." He took out the teleportation portal and brought Sima Yue and the rest back to the clan. The location of the Mo clan was very hidden. If there wasn't a direct transmission array, it would be difficult for ordinary people to get here. Seeing that Mo Jean had brought 4 strangers in, someone immediately went up to stop them. "Mo Jean, what are you doing? How can you bring strangers in at this time?" "This is Princess Yue, the person that old ancestor instructed us to protect," Mo Jean said. "Princess Yue knows medicine. I want to bring her to treat young master." As soon as the other party heard that she was Sima Yue, his attitude became much more respectful. However, he didn't immediately give way, but said awkwardly, "Mo Jean, treating young master is not a trivial matter. Miss Yue looks young. Even the doctors in the clan can't do anything about it. If something happens, where's the patriarch? I'll take the princess to see the patriarch." "The patriarch is in the meeting hall." "Princess, let's go. Where's Mou?" Sima Yue asked. "Old ancestor is over there too." Unexpectedly, as soon as that person's voice fell, Mou appeared in front of them. Seeing Sima Yue, the tiredness on Mou's face dissipated a little, and he said in a deep voice, "You're here. Well, I came to see if there's anything I can help with." Sima Yue nodded. Emoji, I'll take you there. After Emo finished speaking, he waved his long sleeve, and a few of them disappeared from the spot, leaving only Emo Jean and the people who had intercepted them before. The old ancestor actually came out to pick her up in person. It seemed that the rumor that the old ancestor had a good relationship with her was true. The patriarch of the Emo family, Emo Xie, was Emo Ji's grandfather. Emo Ji's father, Emo Li, had also arrived at Emo Ji's courtyard. When they saw Emo bring a little girl over, they were a little surprised. Just now, they were discussing something in the meeting hall when Emo suddenly said that someone had come and asked them to wait here. They didn't expect that the person he personally went to welcome would be her. "Greetings, princess." Sima Yue didn't bother to be polite with them and asked directly, "Where's Emoji?" "He's inside. I'll take you there." Emo took Sima Yu into Emoji's bedroom, and what she saw was Emoji lying lifelessly on the bed with a pale and thin face. "I'll take a look at him first," Sima Yue said as she stepped forward and began to examine Emoji. The people in the room didn't dare to speak. Although Emo Xie and Emo Li were full of questions, seeing that the old ancestor was here, they didn't dare to speak. After a while, Sima Yue finished her examination. Looking at her expression, Emo knew that Emoji would be fine. "How is it? Who was the one who did it?" Sima Yue didn't answer, but asked instead. "What's wrong?" "The poison in Emoji is a poison from the human world," Sima Yue said. "What does the person who went to kill him have to do with the human world?" Emoji was also a little surprised when he heard this. "Are you sure?" Sima Yue nodded and said with certainty, "The person who developed this poison is my friend, but this poison is fatal in the human world. The other party may want to use a poison that you can't find out. So they chose the poison of the human world, but it is precisely because of the difference between the physique of the human race and the ghost race that Emoji can live until today." Thinking of this, she couldn't help but feel a little scared. If the other party used the poison of the ghost race, would she hear the news of Emoji's death? "Then do you know the antidote?" Emoli asked. "I know the antidote, but because of the mutation of Emoji's physique, I still need to study it again. However, it should be done in 3 or 5 days." Sima Yue said, "It's good that he can be saved. It's good that he can be saved." Emoli rejoiced. As long as there was hope, then there would be no problem. Emo looked at Sima Yue. "I heard that you have medical skills in the human world, but I didn't expect your medical skills to be so good. I thought those people were exaggerating." It was precisely because of this that he didn't think of asking Sima Yue to treat Emoji. "How old was I when you met me?" "It's normal that you don't believe it." Sima Yue said, "Prepare a house for me." The news that Sima Yue was going to treat Emoji quickly spread in the Mo clan. Most people didn't have much hope for her sudden arrival. If it weren't for the support of the old ancestor, they would have stopped such a ridiculous thing. Could a little girl in her early 100 years be better than a doctor of the Mo clan who was thousands of years old? This was too hard to believe. But with the old ancestor here, no one dared to say anything, especially when this person was personally brought in by the old ancestor. Emoji felt as if he had slept for a long time. His whole body was sore, and his head felt like it was being pricked by needles. He wanted to reach out and rub it, but found that he couldn't move at all. Feeling someone beside him, he opened his eyes laboriously. Chapter 1920. In 1 second, she remembered Love Divided by You. Read book, webno pop-up window, free to read. Cool hands caressed his forehead, followed by a familiar voice. "Well, the fever has subsided, which means that the poison is almost detoxified." "Yue?" Emoji called out. His voice was hoarse. "Don't talk, eat this." Sima Yue's voice sounded a little ethereal to him, like a dream. A pill was stuffed into his mouth. It melted as soon as it entered his mouth, and then he felt that his head was much clearer and his throat was comfortable. He looked at Sima Yue. She pulled out the silver needles from his body and said, "You are poisoned." I am detoxifying you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me when you are better. Moji blinked and watched her work quietly. After she pulled out all the silver needles, she covered him with a quilt. Lingyu, you can let them in now. She turned her head and said. Only then did Moji notice Wu Lingyu standing at the end of the bed. Wu Lingyu removed the enchantment, but before she opened the door, Mo Li and the others had already pushed the door in. Princess, how is it? Moji's mother, Yin Xiao, asked as soon as she came in. He has been detoxified, and he is fine now, Sima Yue replied. But he's been relying on medicine to save his life for more than 2 years, so his body is relatively weak now, and he needs to recuperate to fully recover. Thank you, Princess. If it weren't for you, Jir wouldn't have been able to get through this. Yin Xiao looked at her gratefully. Emoji is also my friend. Auntie, you are too polite. Sima Yue smiled. No, you're the master, the ancestor, and a princess. How can you call me Auntie? You can call me Yin Xiao. That's right, we can't mess up the seniority. Emoli also responded. It doesn't matter. Emoyu is too old, so don't worry about him. Sima Yue said, let's do it according to this, and his is counted separately. Since the princess said so, then let's do it. After Mo Xie finished speaking, he came to the bed and saw that Emoji had indeed woken up, and his complexion was much better. It seemed that he had indeed been detoxified. Grandpa, Emoji called out softly. His voice was much better than before. It's good that you're awake. Mo Xie patted his hand. Grandpa will definitely avenge you. Grandpa Emoji just woke up. He needs to rest more and talk less. You guys can talk for a while and then let him rest. I'm going back to rest. Sima Yue said. All right, thank you, Princess. Mo Xie and the others all got up and saluted her. She nodded and left Emoji's room with Wu Lingyu. Sima Yue came to her room, which was in the courtyard next to Emoji's. Wu Lingyu saw that she was not in a good mood and raised his eyebrows. Are you thinking about the mortal realm? This poison was developed by Shi Qianji. I didn't expect to see it in the ghost realm. He is now in Paramount Valley, so he shouldn't have any contact with the ghost realm. Sima Yue said, if you're worried about who is colluding with the ghost realm, just ask Mo about the Mo family. Wu Lingyu said, let's ask later. I'm a little tired from studying the antidote these few days. Now that Emoji has just woken up, I'm afraid that their thoughts are here. I'll rest for half a day and then ask Mo. Okay, let's go to rest. Wu Lingyu nodded seriously. She was the one who was going to rest? Okay. How did it become them going to rest when it came to him? Wu Lingyu smiled gently. I'm also very tired from accompanying you these few days. Let's go and sleep together. It's very late now anyway. Early the next morning, Sima Yue went to see Emoji. After a night of recovery, his spirit was much better. Yue, thank you. It was you who saved me. Emoji smiled at her gratefully. It's not your time to die. I happen to know the poison you were poisoned with. How do you feel now? Sima Yue came to the bedside and held his hand to check. I'm much better, Emoji said, but my hands are still a little weak. Sima Yue let go of him and replied, this is normal. After all, you have been poisoned for more than 2 years. It will take time for you to fully recover. You've recovered quite well. I'll refine some medicinal pills for you later. You can eat them together. Thank you. Okay, how many times have you said thank you? If you really want to thank me, get better soon and then give me a bunch of treasures. Sima Yue laughed. The thank you gift you want is really vulgar. I can't help it. I'm a vulgar person. Sima Yue got up. I'll go find your ancestor. You have a good rest. Ancestor should be in the meeting hall with my grandfather and the others now. Emoji reminded her. Sima Yue knew, but she didn't know if she could go to the meeting hall and how to get there. But soon her doubts were no longer doubts, because someone greeted her when she left Emoji's courtyard. Princess, the patriarch invites you. Since Sima Yue knew that they were in the meeting hall, this should mean that she was asked to participate. She and Wu Lingyu came to the meeting hall. The quaint hall exuded a historical aura. You're here. Have you seen Emoji first? Emoyu sat at the head of the table. and the seat next to him was empty. Sima Yue walked to the seat and sat down at his gesture, and Wu Lingyu sat next to her. How much do you know about the Mo clan? Mo asked her. Sima Yue shook her head. I don't know anything. If you don't know anything, why did you rush here for so long? Mo glanced at her. That's right. This is you. Although I don't know what's going on, I'm here to see if I can help. Who told the Mo clan's affairs to be untraceable outside? Sima Yue was also speechless, but fortunately, I'm here. If Emoji had delayed for a while, I'm afraid there would have been nothing we could do. Princess, we are very grateful that you can help us. However, Princess should leave the Mo clan as soon as possible. We will have someone send you back to the imperial capital. Mo Xie said. Huh? Sima Yue didn't expect Mo Xie to say such a thing. It was not Mo style. What? Is your opponent a difficult bone to chew? Sima Yue asked. It's not easy to chew, but it can be done. Mo said, their old guy used to be at odds with me. This time, I don't know who bewitched him, but he has been looking for trouble with us. Sima Yue understood as soon as she heard it. For a transcendent clan, like the Mo clan, it would definitely not be a small matter. One of the 8 great clans? Is it from the ghost realm or the soul realm? She asked. Mo knew that she could guess it, so he was not surprised. It seems that I guessed right. Since it's a well-matched clan, why are you still suppressed by them? Chapter 1921. 1 second to remember. Love divided by you. Read book web. Updated quickly. No pop-up window. Free to read. Among the 8 great clans, the Mo clan was one of the top clans, so it should not be so easy for others to suppress them. But looking at the Mo clan's current appearance, it was obvious that they were being suppressed very badly. The other party is 2 clans. Mo said, the strength of the 4 clans in the Ghost Realm is not much different. The 2nd and 4th clans are united. Even if we deal with them, it will be a bit troublesome. No wonder even you came back. Sima Yue said, but why? Why did they want to deal with you? It has always been peaceful, and they won't suddenly suppress you for no reason. It's because of the mythical dragon order. Ancestor. As soon as Mo finished speaking, Mo Xie and the others all called out in disapproval. It doesn't matter. Mo said calmly. It doesn't matter if she knows. Sima Yue looked at everyone in confusion. What is the mythical dragon order? Mythical dragon order? Wu Lingyu, who rarely interrupted, actually spoke. Is it that mythical dragon order? You know? Sima Yue looked at Wu Lingyu in surprise. I've heard of it before. Wu Lingyu said, it's something that can get the power of the mythical dragon. As long as you get it, whether in the human realm, ghost realm, or devil realm, you can mobilize all the spirit beasts on the ground. If you can crack the power in it, you can get the power left in it by the mythical dragon, half of the power sealed in it. The power of the mythical dragon? Sima Yue's eyes widened. Mo, is it true? Qian's injury lasted for hundreds of thousands of years, so he had to turn into a beast egg to save his last life. After contracting with her, coupled with her continuous promotion, he finally recovered a little. However, even if it was a little, she could feel that it was a very powerful force. If he fully recovers, she couldn't imagine the power. The Azure Dragon and the Vermilion Bird were parallel existences in the world. If it was half of the power of the Azure Dragon, it was also a very terrifying power. Moreover, it could mobilize all the spirit beasts on the ground, which was very attractive. That's right, the mythical dragon order has indeed come to the ghost realm. But it's not with us. Mo said, but that guy is sure that it's with me, and even got an accomplice. The Qi clan is ranked 2nd, and the 9th clan is ranked 4th. That's them. Qimi, that guy, was originally unreconciled to the fact that I was stronger than him. Now that he's gotten this news, he naturally won't let me go. He wants to completely annihilate us. Mo said, the whereabouts of the Shenlong order have always been unknown. Why do they think that the Shenlong order is in the Mo clan? This should be recent, right? Wu Lingyu asked. Because of a child. A child? Yes. After I left Vast Region, I walked around and met a strange boy in a very small city. A strange boy. That boy looks no more than 7 or 8 years old, but he doesn't look like an ordinary child. Out of curiosity, I came into contact with him for a period of time. When Imoyu spoke up to hear, he seemed to have thought of something and stopped. And then? What did you find? Sima Yua asked. I found that he was not a child, but something happened when he was young, so his body stopped growing. But before I could study it in depth, he disappeared. Imoyu continued. Could it be that that child is the owner of the Shenlong order? I didn't think of it at that time, but now that I think about it, it's true. Imoyu said, maybe it's because he got the Shenlong order that his body stopped growing. Is it because he inherited the power of the Shenlong? On the contrary, it's because he got the Shenlong order and didn't really unlock the power in it that his body has this kind of situation. Sima Yua tapped her fingers on the table a few times, thought for a while, and said, because that kid may have leaked the power of the Shenlong before and then disappeared, so you, who stayed with him, were suspected and thought that you took him away. However, this is just an excuse, right? Imoyu gave her a smart look. The Qi clan has always been eyeing us covetously, and there will be a next time. What they need is just a reason. TSK. A transcendent family like yours will naturally have a lot of contradictions, and in the long run, it will always erupt. Sima Yua knocked on the table. However, I don't think you should take those guys seriously. You were more worried about emoji before. This matter is also a headache. It's just a headache, then it's really nothing. Sima Yua said, that's good. I don't have to worry about you. What do you mean you don't have to worry about us? Imoyu glared at her. If you didn't come, then it's fine, but since you're here, then you're on our boat. If you go out now, you'll be considered to be on my side. So what you said, we're on the same side? Sima Yua blinked at him. Huh? Imoyu looked at her. Why did he feel that she suddenly changed her style? You said it yourself. We're on the same side. Yes. Then if you're on the same side as me, then you won't be with Anaheim, right? Sima Yua looked at him with a smile. Cousin is very worried. He said that Anaheim is trying to win you over. He's afraid that you'll board her pirate ship. Is there still a need to worry about this? Imoyu reached out and knocked her on the head, giving her a fierce look of contempt. Hey, I'm not worried, but my cousin is. Who asked you to work for Anaheim before? Sima Yua patted his hand away. Speaking of which, you wanted to kill me before. You remember all the little things. You have a good memory. Imoyu snorted. Compared to worrying about you, I'm more interested in that child. Sima Yua said, do you have any news about that child? Since he has the mythical dragon order, we will naturally look for it. Imoyu said, but because of the obstruction of those people, the harvest is not much. Then when your things here are over, let's go find that child. Sima Yua said and glanced at Wu Lingyu. What do you think? As long as you're happy. Wu Lingyu supported all her ideas. Although we won't be overwhelmed by them, it will still take some time and energy to solve them. Imoyu said, it doesn't matter. Anyway, my main task now is to cultivate. I can wait. Sima Yua said, if there's anything you need, just tell me. I won't be in closed-door cultivation anyway. You're really self-aware. Of course. By the way, I have some people outside the MO clan. You have to treat them well. They represent my grandfather. Why didn't you say so earlier? Chapter 1922. In 1 second, she remembered Love Divided by You. Read book, net no pop-up window, free to read. Sima Yua stayed in the MO clan, and except for checking Emoji's body, she basically didn't go out. Wu Lingyu, Huan, and the Black Shadow didn't cultivate, so they wandered around the MO clan. When the MO clan saw them, they were very curious about their identities. Some of them were bold enough to run to challenge the Black Shadow, and the others when they saw their strange movement techniques. On this day, after Sima Yua checked Emoji's body, she was dragged by MOU to drink tea. The house where the two were located was the highest place in the MO clan, where they could watch the entire MO clan. Sima Yua looked into the distance and just saw Wu Lingyu and the others fighting with the MO clan. Many people surrounded them, and it was very lively. You guys are really leisurely. Sima Yue took a sip of tea and said softly, you guys have deceived a lot of people like this. When she was outside, even she thought that the Mo clan was in big trouble, so they called back all the people outside. But who would have thought that they were so leisurely in the clan? Only this can paralyze the enemy. Mo, you said, if they don't taste the sweetness, they will never take the next step. Are you ready? Sima Yue asked. This grudge is not 3 or 2 years old, and the preparation work is not in a day or two. Some things have to be solved. Do you remember? I once said that the ghost realm is going to be chaotic. I thought we could get out of these turmoil, but I didn't expect that we would also become a part of it. Mo, you said. Sima Yue was silent. This world has been peaceful for too long, and there will naturally be some turmoil. As I have heard before, the general trend of the world, if it is divided for a long time, it will be united for a long time. And if it is united for a long time, it will be divided. It can't be like this forever. Even so, it also needs an opportunity. I once said that you will bring changes to the ghost realm. You will be the cause and the effect. So you're saying that I'm the cause of this? Sima Yue raised her eyebrows. I'm not the one who interacted with the kid with the Dragon God Order. Emoji felt that this matter had something to do with her, but he was not a divinator, so he couldn't figure out where the real implication was. Could it be just because she was here now? However, his intuition told him that this was not the case. He still remembered that when he was in the human realm, when he closed his eyes, the chaotic ghost realm appeared in front of him, and she was in it. She and the turmoil in the ghost realm were not only involved in the affairs of this Mo clan. Sima Yue saw that he was silent and asked, what are you thinking about? Nothing. Mo, you didn't tell her what he was thinking. He picked up his teacup and took a sip. Good. The onlookers cheered because of Wu Lingyu's beautiful move, attracting the attention of Sima Yue and Mou. After watching for a while, Sima Yue retracted her gaze and brewed another cup of tea for the two of them. Mou, do you know about the Four Corners Divine Seal? She asked. You know all about it? Emoji glanced at her and knew from the look in her eyes. That's right. If she didn't know, why would she mention the Four Corners Divine Seal? Look at you know. Sima Yue said with certainty. Then do you know the whereabouts of the Four Corners Divine Seal? It seems that you don't know much. Mou said. Sima Yue sighed. Grandfather said that the place where mother was suppressed was too dangerous. If my strength broke through the underworld venerable level, he would not tell me the whereabouts of the Four Corners Divine Seal. The king is also thinking about your safety. Mou rarely said a good word for others. When the king and I got the news, he was also angry for a long time, saying that he shouldn't have made such a decision. But things have come to this. Only the Four Corners Divine Seal can break that ancient formation. So, I must get the Four Corners Divine Seal. Sima Yue's eyes were firm. You should also know the whereabouts of the Four Corners Divine Seal, right? I know, but I won't tell you. And Mou said, I agree with the king on this point. You haven't broken through the underworld venerable level, so I can't tell you this news. Alas, Sima Yue turned the teacup with both hands. I knew you would say that, so I didn't have much hope. You can drink tea here by yourself. I'm going back to cultivate. The sooner I break through, the sooner you can tell me. After saying that, she really got up and left. And Mou didn't keep her, but stared at her teacup in a daze. Why don't you tell her the truth? A voice came from the air, but there was no one. Tell her what? The Four Corners Divine Seal is scattered in the world, and we only know 3 of them? The whereabouts of the other one is unknown? And Mou chuckled. She won't be able to hold on if that's the case. But she would know in the end, wouldn't she? She had put in so much effort for that day, only to receive such an outcome. To her, wouldn't it be cruel? I know what you mean, but I think the king has the same idea as me. Since there's still time, we should continue to send people to investigate. Who knows, we might be able to find the Four Corners Divine Seal. And Mou sighed. This possibility was too small. The East, South, West, and North Divine Seal. The East Divine Seal was in the hands of the Ghost King. The West Divine Seal was in the hands of Qing Hun. The South Divine Seal was in the abyss of hell, and the North Divine Seal was still missing. Ever since they knew that they needed the Four Corners Divine Seal to save Ukaluo, the Ghost King had been sending people to investigate, but to no avail. Moreover, he heard that the other two parties were also searching, which meant that the entire Ghost Realm was searching for the North Divine Seal. Under such circumstances, there was still no news. Then, he wondered what kind of reaction she would have when she broke through the underworld venerable level and found out about this news. MOU actually didn't dare to imagine. When he met her, she was still a little girl. For some unknown reason, her spiritual energy was sealed by heaven's punishment. Even so, she still told him that one day she would come to the Ghost Realm and rescue her mother. For so many years, family reunion had always been the biggest thought in her heart. If he told her that this was impossible, what a cruel thing it would be. However, he couldn't tell her now. If she knew, he was afraid that she would lose the motivation to move forward. At this time, not far from the MO clan, a 7 or 8-year-old boy was holding a square iron block and smashing a walnut in his hand. What kind of walnut is this? Why is it so hard? Fortunately, I have this guy, otherwise I can't eat it. After the little boy smashed the walnut, he picked out the pulp inside, put it in his mouth, and chewed it a few times. However, this taste is really delicious. After eating one, he picked up the iron block and smashed a few more. He felt a little tired, so he simply sat on the ground and slowly picked out the meat inside to eat. Alas, I was told to come here to find that woman. But where is she? The Ghost Realm is so big, I can't walk to my death. He muttered as he ate. The iron block was placed aside, and the word north could be faintly seen at the bottom. Chapter 1923. In 1 second, she remembered Love Divided by You. Read book, webno pop-up window, free to read. Sima Yue went into seclusion. Mo wanted to have tea with her, but she didn't come, which made him very depressed. Fortunately, it didn't take long for him to have something to do, so he didn't get too bored. Ancestor, the patriarch, said that the Chi family and the 9th family have finally started to move. A clansman came over. Do you want to go? Only the 9th family? What about the previous ones? Are you asking about the 1st to 8th families? The other families haven't moved. It seems that they resent the 9th family for driving them out. Originally, there was only the 9th family in the ghost world, and there were no 1st to 8th families. Later, the 9th family expelled some clansmen, and the descendants of those people slowly formed the 1st to 8th families, and several of them became successful, such as the 4th family and the 5th family that followed Anaheim. In any case, the 1st family to the 9th family were all connected. If the 9th family united with the first 8 families, it would take some effort to deal with them. Except for the 4th and 5th families, the others have not moved. The clansmen responded. The 4th and 5th families were originally attached to the 9th family. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to stand out among several families. Now that the 9th family has made a move, they will naturally follow, but I don't know if they know the reason. Most likely, they will be used as a tool. MOU sneered. If the 4th and 5th families know, Anaheim will know, and even if there are benefits, it will not fall to the 9th family. So I think they should not know about the mythical dragon order. Yes, you go and tell MOC. Don't move for the time being, just follow the plan. We will wait for them to walk in by themselves. MOU said. Yes. The clansmen responded and left. Are you so confident that with the power of the MO clan, you can fight against 2 of the 8 families? Wu Lingyu's voice sounded in his ear, and his figure slowly emerged in the air. MOU was not surprised by his appearance, but asked, where are the 2 people from the underworld? It turned out that he also knew the identity of Black Shadow and Huan. They went outside to play. Wu Lingyu said, you haven't answered my question yet. The MO clan acts low-key. This time is different. If those people want to touch the MO clan, it depends on whether they have that weight. You have confidence in the MO clan, but what if the Chi clan and the 9th clan are the same? Wu Lingyu asked. MOU narrowed his eyes. What do you know? I don't know anything. I just wanted to tell you that there are exceptions to everything. If something happened to you, With Yu's personality, it's impossible for her to ignore it. So this will be her trouble again. Wu Lingyu replied, she needs to focus on her cultivation and avoid unnecessary matters. I can only help her deal with these matters. The corner of Yu's mouth twitched. This guy was really straightforward. What do you want? He asked. It's very simple. Let me know your plan and see if there's anything that needs to be improved. Wu Lingyu flung his long sleeves and sat down in front of Yu. Yu stared at Wu Lingyu, secretly trying to figure out his identity. This aura was nothing compared to the Ghost King. Of course, Wu Lingyu knew what he was thinking, but he didn't say anything and let him look at him. At that time, he was also a crazy devil king. He was evenly matched with the Ghost King and even led the devil race to attack the human world. Who could compare with that kind of bearing? Yu was silent for a while and said, tell me what you think 1 year later. Sima Yue finally came out of seclusion and felt that her body was a little stiff. She twisted her neck and found that there was no one in the place where she lived. Where did those 3 guys go? Did they get into trouble and get kicked out? She looked around and didn't see anyone, so she had to go out. The Mo clan, which was originally quite lively, was also very quiet at this time. She looked around and didn't see the Mo clan people who used to be everywhere. After a while, she saw a group of children. The group of children were only a few years old and were led by a teenage girl. When the little girl saw Sima Yue, she saluted and said, Ancestor. Sima Yue's mouth twitched, thinking that she had an auditory hallucination. Ancestor? Was she that old? Ancestor is the master of our ancestor, so naturally, you are also our ancestor. The little girl was young, but her ability to observe people's expressions was good. What do you call emoji? Sima Yue asked. Little uncle. Then you can call me aunt. Sima Yue said with a sullen face. I won't agree to call me ancestor. Yes, auntie. The little girl smiled and replied. She even asked the other children to call her auntie. Where are the others? Why is the clan so deserted? Sima Yue asked. It's the Qi clan and the 9th clan. Ancestor took the clansmen to fight. The little girl replied. They fought so soon? Sima Yue was a little surprised. She didn't seem to have been in seclusion for long. They have fought several times. The little girl said, Ancestor said that it's almost over after this fight. So soon? Sima Yue was even more surprised. She thought that it would last for at least 3 or 5 years. She didn't expect that after a year of seclusion, it would be the time for the final battle. It seems that it's because Big Brother Wu Lingyu came up with an idea to let us beat the Qi clan until they couldn't fight back. So they sped up. The little girl said, if I didn't have to take care of this group of children in the clan, I would have gone with them. Wu Lingyu was also involved in this matter, which made Sima Yue somewhat surprised. However, she also knew that he did this for her. Otherwise, with his temperament, it was impossible for him to care about these things. Where are they now? They are in Immerse City, but I don't know where exactly. Aunt, are you going? I know how to get to Immerse City. When Sima Yue went, the battle was coming to an end. She felt the vibration from the void and saw that Yu and Wu Lingyu were not in the crowd of the Mo clan. She guessed that they had gone to the void to duel. The Qi clan and the 9th clan confronted the Mo clan. Both sides had casualties, but looking at the state of both sides, the Mo clan was much more relaxed. However, the other party did not give up. They stared at the Mo clan and wished to kill them all. The Mo clan's actions this year were completely different from before. Their plans were disrupted, their actions were swift, and their strategies were different from before, making them completely unable to resist. Even if they hid their strength in advance, it was not easy to deal with them. However, if they wanted to deal with them like this, the Mo clan thought it was too easy. Even if there was Wu Lingyu, they still had a chance to win. Huh? Have they stopped fighting? Sima Yue's voice came, making the atmosphere of the whole battlefield suddenly change. Chapter 1924. Remember in 1 second, love divided by you? Read book, web, update quickly, no pop-up window, read for free. The Chi clan and the Ninth clan went all out this time to destroy the Mo clan, so they brought all the people they could bring. This battle was much bigger than the previous battles, and it was also much more eye-catching. The three major clans of the Ghost Realm suddenly fought to the death, which also attracted a lot of people's attention. Although they were very curious about why this suddenly happened, no one dared to send people to investigate the news. They just paid attention to the battle. The Chi clan and the Ninth clan originally thought that this time they would definitely be able to pull the Mo clan down from the first position. But they didn't expect that the Mo clan had also been hiding their strength these years, and their strength was much greater than before. The matter of being suppressed by the two clans in the past was also pretended, so their full confidence was shattered by the Mo clan. Moreover, it was very easy for the ancestors of the two clans to deal with MOU, but they didn't expect that there would be an additional stranger. That stranger obviously looked very young. How could he be so strong that he could actually hold back their ancestors? However, even so, the Chi clan and the Ninth clan didn't feel that they would lose. At most, it would be a little difficult to win. As long as MOU and the stranger died, they would win. But they didn't expect that while waiting, Sima Yue actually ran over. Seeing her, they remembered the incident in Yang City. At the beginning, Di Wu and the others made many copies of the video of the incident in Yang City. They originally intended to spread it only in the imperial capital, but they didn't expect this incident to have such a great impact on everyone that it gradually leaked out. As a result, one copy was copied into two copies. Two copies became four copies. More and more people got the Shadow Stone and also saw the sky full of thunder tribulation outside Yang City. Now, Sima Yue came here. Would she do that kind of thing again? If she pulled them to cross the tribulation together, what would happen? Could it be that they had a retreat like this? But they were unwilling. The battle between the ancestors was not over, and Sima Yue did not mean to activate the tribulation thunder. They waited in place with a fluke mentality. As long as their ancestors won, even if there was Sima Yue, it would be difficult for the Mo clan to develop in the future. Compared with the worries here, the people of the Mo clan were much more relaxed when they saw her. The tense hearts of those who were confronting the Chi clan relaxed a lot. Many of them revealed smiles on their faces. Yue, why are you here? Emoji greeted. He came out after his closed-door cultivation. Sima Yue said, "Where's Ling Yu?" She looked around, but did not see Wu Ling Yu. Logically speaking, he was the one who came up with the idea, so he should be here right now. I didn't expect Big Brother Ling Yu to have such powerful skills. He fought with the old ancestor and the others into the void. Mo Jing said, when people who were too strong fought, their power would be too great and the area affected would be too wide. Therefore, they would choose to fight in the void. Sima Yue was surprised to hear that. She knew that Wu Ling Yu was formidable, but she did not expect that he could actually compete with the Chi clan's ninth family's old ancestor. He has a continuous supply of power from the Dragon Ball. This is a high-level cheat. A black shadow appeared beside her. Huan did not come. He should have gone to protect Wu Ling Yu. The old ancestor and the others have been fighting for a long time. There should be a result soon. Mo Xie was wearing a golden armor, looking majestic. Then we'll wait. Sima Yue said. Wait for what? The Chi clan and the Ninth clan suddenly understood that Sima Yue was going to make a move. If she wanted to deal with them, she would inevitably choose the simple way of thunder tribulation. We can't let her attract the thunder tribulation. Everyone, let's go together. We must strangle Sima Yue here. The Chi clan's patriarch shouted. The people of the Chi clan and the Ninth clan hesitated for a while and decided to kill Sima Yue first. Especially the Fourth and Fifth clans, who were the vanguard of the Ninth clan. They were originally Anaheim's people and were not in the same camp as Sima Yue. If they killed her now, they could still go to the Anaheim to claim credit. Thinking of this, the Fourth and Fifth clans became energetic and attacked Sima Yue. When Mo Xie and the others saw that the Fourth and Fifth clans had actually made a move, they all moved and prepared to fight back. However, the vanguard of the Fourth and Fifth clans didn't even run half the distance before they were killed by the power from the air. How dare you? How dare you attack the princess? Han Shan and Han Feng came out of the air with the Ghost King's people, and the cold momentum made them feel cold. Han Shan and Han Feng. The Qi clan's patriarch naturally knew the two people beside the Ghost King. When he saw these two people, he knew that the Ghost King already knew everything. Two lords, why are you here? The people of the Ninth Clan were still holding on to the hope that they were just passing by. This way, they could say something nice and let them pretend that they didn't see them. If they had been following Sima Yue, then the result. Han Feng snorted coldly. We are ordered by the king to protect the little princess's safety. I originally thought that we wouldn't have the chance to appear, but I didn't expect you to be so bold. Lords, they wanted to quibble, but how could they say it? Han Feng and Han Shan had seen it with their own eyes and heard it with their own ears, so they couldn't say anything. Han Shan and Han Feng didn't say much to them, and said to the guards behind them, the fourth and fifth clans intended to hurt the little princess, according to the king's orders, kill them without mercy. The three words kill without mercy fell into everyone's ears and knocked into their hearts. The Ghost King really treasured this granddaughter. Last time in Yangcheng, he ordered people to destroy the clans involved at that time, which set off a reign of terror. Now, in the face of the Qi clan and the Ninth Clan, he still didn't want to give them half a face, and he still killed the fourth and fifth clans who relied on them. Two lords, the head of the Ninth Clan shouted, the fourth and fifth clans have been at the queen's beck and call all these years. Today, they had no choice but to attack the little princess. I hope you can spare them for the sake of the queen's face. The queen's people? Han Shan's voice dragged out. When everyone thought there was hope, he glanced at them indifferently and snorted. What does that have to do with the king? The order we received was issued by the king. No matter who it is, as long as they dare to touch the little princess, they will be killed without mercy. What are you still doing? Are you deaf? The reprimand was directed at the guards behind. They understood Han Shan's meaning and didn't dare to delay, all of them attacking the fourth and fifth clans. Although the fourth and fifth clans were also big clans, otherwise they wouldn't have been able to enter the eyes of the Anaheim. But in front of the guards, personally selected by the Ghost King, they were not enough to look at. Soon, those people were all destroyed. Sima Yue touched her nose. These people given to her by the Ghost King were really powerful. Chapter 1925. Remember in 1 second, love divided by you? Read book, web, updated quickly, no pop-up window, free to read. The people of the fourth and fifth families were killed by the Ghost King's guards, and the faces of the people of the Qi clan and the ninth family were so gloomy that they could drip water. Tick-tock. A drop of rain fell and fell on the back of Sima Yue's hand. The cool touch gave her a familiar feeling. She looked up at the sky, and her lips curled into a smile. Others also felt the raindrops falling, and some wondered how it could rain in such weather, and why was Sima Yue so happy to see rain. It's over. Before Ji could ask, she spoke first and smiled at him. We won. Huh? They haven't seen the result yet. How does she know it's over? The rain fell on them, but it didn't wet their clothes, but stuck to them. This rain is amazing, someone said in surprise. Soon, the raindrops moved and slowly gathered together, forming a human figure. Just when everyone was surprised, the water slowly turned into human skin and clothes. When they saw Wu Lingyu's face, everyone was shocked. Lingyu, Sima Yue ran over, and Wu Lingyu reached out to hold her. Are you out? Yeah. Were they? Sima Yue asked. The old ghost of the ninth family has been killed by me, and Mou is fighting with another one, and it will be over soon. Wu Lingyu replied. When the people of the Mo clan heard this, a smile appeared on their faces, and the ninth family was terrified. Their ancestor was dead? Then what should they do in the future? Sima Yue saw their expressions, and a sneer appeared at the corner of her mouth. At this time, they were still thinking about the future. Did they think that after this incident, the Mo clan would let them go? The Mo clan has always been low-key, but it doesn't mean that they will let bygones be bygones and let go of the meat that was sent to their mouth. Not only was the ninth family worried, but the Qi clan was also worried. Wu Lingyu actually killed the ancestor of the ninth family, and instead of staying to help Mou, he came back by himself, indicating that Mou's situation was very good, and he didn't need his help at all. This was not good news for the Qi clan. Sure enough, after waiting for a while, Mou came back. Although he was injured, that aura still made people's hearts tremble. I've already killed Old Chong. Do you still want to fight today? Mou's thin lips were slightly raised, and his voice was as lazy as ever. But what he said made the Qi family and the ninth family feel as if they were struck by lightning. It's over. It's really over this time. The 8 great clans of the Ghost Realm were not only powerful, but also because they had old ancestors in their families. With the old ancestor around, no one dared to offend them. Now that the old ancestor was dead, the status of the clan would plummet, and they would be targeted by many people. Mou's cold gaze swept over. How could they continue to stay here? Wasn't that courting death? Retreat. The living people of the 2 clans hurriedly left. Even the bodies of the clansmen were not taken away, for fear that the Mo clan would suddenly change their mind and kill them again. Ancestor, these people are truly abominable. Why should we let them go? That's right, old ancestor. They came to kill us. Why should we let them go? Several juniors were unhappy. These people had come to the door, and they actually let them go like this. How could they be willing? You don't have to worry. To deal with the enemy, sometimes it's better to let them live than to let them die. Mo Xie touched his mustache and smiled treacherously. Patriarch? The juniors didn't understand. The patriarch smiled so evilly. Was there another arrangement? However, this was indeed more in line with the temperament of the patriarch. What with your eyes? Mo Xie glared at those juniors. How dare they look at him like this? Patriarch, please tell us. Otherwise, we won't be able to accept it. Someone was bold enough to kick up a fuss. Yes. I'll tell you, little bastards. When the Qi clan and the ninth family return to the clan, they will receive the news that 7 or 8 of their industries have been annexed by us. Without the protection of the old man, without those industries, could they still be among the 8 great clans? I'm afraid it won't take long for them to be eaten up. Falling from the super clans, they may not be able to rise up in the end. For those who have always been favored by the heavens, this is indeed a better revenge. When the people of the Mo clan heard this, they were happy. This was even happier than killing those people. Grandpa, this wasn't our previous plan, was it? What did it change? A person of the same generation as Mo Ji came out and asked. Mo Xie glanced at Wu Lingyu without a trace. If it's changed, it's changed. It doesn't matter when it was changed. The previous plan was good, but it wasn't so happy. Okay, leave some people to tidy up here, and the others go back to the clan to rest. From today on, we will return to our previous normal life. Yes, Patriarch. Everyone returned to the clan. Those who were seriously injured went back to recuperate. Those who were not injured or only slightly injured left after a short rest in the clan. They returned to their original place and continued their previous life, but they were busier than before. Because they had annexed many industries, they also had to digest them well. Sima Yue learned from Mou that Wu Lingyu gave them advice. Although she didn't see the scene of the 2 talking, she could imagine it. Don't think about the past. Wu Lingyu poked her forehead. How was the effect of your retreat? I have broken through the Underworld Emperor and entered the Underworld Venerable. Sima Yue replied, however, the further I go, the slower the speed of cultivation. It will take a long time to break through the Underworld Venerable and enter the next level. This period of time could be a few years, or it could be decades, or even hundreds of years. If she couldn't break through the Underworld Venerable, the Ghost King couldn't tell her the whereabouts of the 4 Directions Divine Seal. Calculating the time it would take, her heart was heavy. Wu Lingyu looked at her from the side, his thin lips pursed. If Sima Yue looked at him now, she would know that he had something on his mind. Sima Yue sighed in her heart for a while, then looked up and asked Wu Lingyu, Lingyu, have your people in the Ghost Realm found any news? Have they found the whereabouts of the 4 cardinal divine seal? Wu Lingyu's expression had returned to normal. Sima Yue didn't realize that he was distracted just now. No, Wu Lingyu said, it seems that the owner of the 4 cardinal divine seal cherishes it very much. There is no news about it. If that's the case, then we can only wait until we break through to find grandfather. Sima Yue sighed. If your people have any news, remember to tell me. I will. Wu Lingyu thought of what he heard before and felt sorry for her. Chapter 1926. 1 second to remember love divided by you. Read book, web, update quickly, no pop-up window, free to read. Her request was only to let him tell her the news that the Devil Clan had found, but she did not let him tell her the news he had heard. Therefore, someone took advantage of the loophole in the language. Thinking of someone's expression at that time, he gnashed his teeth in hatred. That day, after he told MOU about the change of plan, MOU also told him about the 4 sides divine seal. I'm under too much pressure to bear this matter alone. I want to find someone to share the pressure with. MOU smiled very annoyingly. He snorted coldly. This was not because of too much pressure, but because he was afraid that Yue would get angry after knowing the truth, so he wanted to find someone to take the fall. Thinking that one side of the 4 sides divine seal was missing, he also had a headache. Even the Ghost King, Qing Hun, Infernal Hell, and MOU couldn't find any news. The whereabouts of the North Divine Seal was really uncertain. He only hoped that when she broke through to the Underworld Venerable, they could find the whereabouts of the North Divine Seal. However, this was what MOU told him, not what the Devil Clan found out, so it was not within the scope of her request. Even if she smelled it, he planned to say so. Sima Yue saw that Wu Lingyu was a little absent-minded, and asked, Lingyu, what are you thinking about? Wu Lingyu restrained his mind. He could not let her find any clues at this time. He smiled and said, I'm just thinking, now that the MO clan's matter has been solved. What are you going to do next? Go back, or do you want to go into seclusion here or what? Sima Yue thought for a while and said, I just came out of seclusion now. I need some experience. If I go into seclusion again, I'm afraid the effect won't be great. Wu Lingyu also thought of this, so he knew that she would not continue to go into seclusion. Anyway, the competition between the dynasties is over now. We don't have to rush back. Why don't we walk back slowly and see this great river and mountain? Maybe we can have some insights. If we encounter a good place, we can stop and enjoy the beautiful scenery. If there is a suitable place for cultivation, it's the same there. Sima Yue thought that she had never enjoyed life so leisurely, and suddenly had some expectations for such a day. Since you think so, then let's do as you wish. Wu Lingyu did not object at all. Anyway, he came to the ghost realm to accompany her. She could do whatever she liked. Moreover, he also felt sorry for her. Ever since they met, she had never properly relaxed. Now that she had nothing to do other than cultivate, it was good for her to relax. Miss, when are we leaving? They have stayed in the MO clan for a year and have already figured it out. When they heard that they were going to leave, they were naturally happy. There's no rush. We have to tell MOU and the others before we can leave. Sima Yoyue's thoughts were simple. She felt that it was enough to tell MOU. Anyway, the MO clan was very busy now, so she didn't want to cause trouble. However, when she heard MOU's words, she opened her mouth wide in shock. Are you serious? The corners of her mouth twitched. She felt that she must be hallucinating. Of course it's true. MOU said, I'll travel with you. The MO clan's matter is not completely over yet. Sima Yue didn't want to take such an eye-catching person with her. There are still so many things to do. It's not good for you to leave like this, right? I don't need to do those things. MOU snorted lightly. Just leave it to them. Then why are you following me? Go and play by yourself. Sima Yue was not happy. With him, it would definitely be very troublesome. She couldn't go as she pleased. It's fun to follow you. MOU decided to follow her. Besides, didn't we get along very well before? Is it because of Wu Lingyu that you don't allow others to follow you? How can that be the same? Sima Yue glared at him. You don't know anyone in the human world. If I go out with you, no one will say anything. Now in the ghost realm, you are a big celebrity. The matters of the Mo clan and the other two clans are not over yet. You are in the limelight. If I take you with me, isn't that bringing trouble? It's useless for you to say this. Mou's words blocked Sima Yue's following words. But his following words also made Sima Yue change her mind. Aren't you interested in the Shenlong Decree? You want to take me to find the Shenlong Decree? Sima Yue's eyes lit up. I don't know where that child is, so how can I take you there? But if I meet him, at least I can recognize him. Sima Yue, anyway. Mou finally followed her on the road. Before leaving, seeing the habitual look of the Mo clan, Sima Yue mourned for them in her heart. Encountering such an unreliable ancestor who wandered around outside all day, they were also drunk. Yue, I originally wanted to have a good chat with you after this matter is over, but I didn't expect you to leave so soon. Come to the Mo clan, often to play in the future. Mo's mother took Sima Yue's hand and said with a smile. Fortunately, she was there for Mo's matter. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. Okay, Sima Yue agreed. Yue, the old ancestor will be with you, so you have to take care of him in the future. If there's anything wrong with him, you have to bear with it. Mo, Xia said seriously, but Sima Yue couldn't help but want to laugh. Grandpa Mo, you're too serious. If there's nothing else, we'll go first. She felt that this mode of sending them off was a little strange. If she stayed any longer, she was afraid that she would laugh. Mo sent them all the way to Mo City. Seeing his reluctant eyes, Mou still drove him back, saying that the clan was busy now, and he, the young master, had to be there. Mou cried, If you're really busy, why are you still leaving? Excuses. They're all excuses. Sima Yue and the others got on the huge flying beast, which was specially prepared for her by the Mo clan. There were 3 rooms on the back of the huge bird where they could cultivate so that they could hurry on the road and not waste time cultivating. This is good. Sima Yue looked at the layout inside with satisfaction. It was simple, but not simple. Of course it's good, this is my ride. And Mou said, My little red bird is not only fast, but also very sensitive to treasures. If you pass by a good place, you can't escape its eyes. Sima Yue was slightly surprised. She didn't expect this big red bird to be so powerful. Where are we going now? Sima Yue looked straight ahead and said, Let's go in this direction. Without Mou's words, the big red bird spread its wings and rushed into the sky. Sima Yue sat by the window and looked at the scenery whistling by below in a very good mood. I don't know where that little boy went. Mou looked at her and sighed. Sima Yue frowned. Are you hiding something from me? Chapter 1927. In 1 second, she remembered Love Divided by You. Read book, webno pop-up window, free to read. Seeing her narrowed eyes, Mou smiled. You're thinking too much. Why would I hide anything from you? Every time you feel guilty, the left corner of your mouth will be a little higher than the right corner. Sima Yue said. Seeing that he wanted to deny it, she said, This is what Emoji told me. Emoji, that brat, when he goes back, let's see how he will deal with him. Tell me, if you hide it from me, I will throw you out of here. Sima Yue snorted coldly. At this time, she didn't remember that this flying beast belonged to Mou. Actually, it's nothing. Mou smiled. It's just that when I was talking to that boy, he once asked me about something. It's related to Yue? Wu Lingyu asked with certainty. Me? How could it be related to me? Sima Yue was surprised for a moment, but then she understood. If it wasn't related to her, Mou wouldn't have followed them. What did that little kid say? He said that he was looking for someone who was often struck by lightning. Mou said, At that time, I didn't think of you, but now that I think about it, the one who was struck by lightning was you. At that time, the incident in Yang City had not happened yet, and he did not think of Sima Yue. But after the incident in Yang City, Everyone knew that she was the one who was often struck by lightning, and the person that the little boy was looking for was most likely her. I was wondering why you insisted on coming with me. So this was your idea? You want the Dragon God order? Sima Yue asked him. I don't want it, but I want to see that thing and settle some accounts with that little guy. Mou's expression was a little strange when he mentioned the little boy. Sima Yue stared at him for a while, then suddenly laughed, pointed at him, and said, Mou, you are an old man who has lived for thousands of years, but you were actually tricked by a little kid. Ha ha, what's so funny? He looks like a little baby. Who knows how old he is? Mou did not deny it, but his expression was definitely not good. It was all because of the child's appearance that he had been deceived. If he had known that he wasn't a child, he wouldn't have been deceived. When he caught that guy, he would definitely teach him a lesson. Sima Yue couldn't be bothered to know what he was up to. Now that she knew why he was following her, she was no longer bothered. Follow me if you want, but I'll say this first. I won't change my plan because of you. No need, I'll just walk around with them. That guy should come knocking on our door. Mou said. His target was Sima Yue, and he should have known about what happened in Yangcheng. Therefore, they would definitely come looking for him. As long as he stayed by Sima Yue's side, he would be able to wait for her. However, with that little girl's muddle-headed personality, it would be a little difficult to find her. The Red Bird flew for a month before they flew out of the Mo clan's sphere of influence. When they arrived here, Mou was not so familiar with it. They found a place with beautiful mountains and clear water to rest. The Red Bird would find a place to land, and chose a flat land next to a waterfall. This place is really good. Why don't we catch some fish and make grilled fish? Sima Yue said. As soon as he heard that she wanted to get something to eat, the Black Shadow was very active and immediately said, Then I'll go catch some fish. Don't kill them with your spiritual power, or the meat of the fish won't be good. Just catch them like that. Sima Yue said. Okay, miss, just wait. The Black Shadow replied. However, his thinking was too simple. Without using his spiritual power, those fish were very slippery and ran away before he could touch them. After catching for half an hour, he only caught 2 small fish, which was not enough to eat at all. Don't just watch. Come down and catch them together. The Black Shadow shouted at the 3 men on the shore. I see that you're so active. There's no need for us. Huan leaned against the big tree and had no intention of going down to help. As for the other 2 people, they had no intention of helping. Sima Yue was almost done with the preparation work. When she saw the 2 pitiful fish in the bucket, she said to the 3 people on the shore, You guys should hurry up and help. If anyone doesn't go, there won't be any grilled fish to eat later. I have to go too. Mou looked at the river reluctantly and didn't move. He was the ancestor of the Mo clan and had never done such a thing. Now she wanted him to go into the river to catch fish. You don't have to go. Sima Yue's words made him feel relieved, but before he could say anything, he heard her say again, You won't eat later. A threat, a naked threat. In a while, they would all be eating and he would be the only one watching. How uncomfortable would that be? Okay. He compromised, took off his shoes, and went into the water. Huan followed. Wu Lingyu didn't go into the water. Instead, she stood by the water and watched the 3 of them catch fish. Lingyu, why don't you come down? Don't think that just because Miss is good to you, you can disobey the rules. You won't be able to eat the grilled fish later. Black Shadow snorted. Wu Lingyu smiled and didn't argue. She just watched the 3 of them struggle to catch fish. After a while, they didn't catch many fish, and they couldn't help but feel a little depressed. At this moment, the sound of something falling into the water attracted their attention. They looked up and saw the fishing net in Wu Lingyu's hand. As a result, the faces of the 3 people darkened. This guy clearly had a plan in his heart, but he didn't tell them and just watched them embarrass themselves in the water. It was really hateful. The 3 of them looked at each other, and without saying a word, they went ashore together and attacked Wu Lingyu. They didn't really fight a duel, so Sima Yue didn't care about them. She saw a few fish in the bucket and a net of fish that had just been thrown to the shore and hadn't been taken out yet. She shook her head, squatted by the river, and began to clean the fish. After all of them were cut open and cleaned, she put them on the rack and began to grill them. The four people were attracted by the smell of grilled fish. Black Shadow was the most sensitive to food, so he was the fastest to run. Sima Yue looked at his greedy face and smiled. Why aren't you continuing? There's food. Of course, food is more important. Black Shadow saw that Sima Yue had barbecued a few fish beside her and very consciously went to take a portion and started eating. Sima Yue didn't stop him. After all, the fish was for them to eat. Wu Lingyu was the last to come back. Although he was chased by the three people, he wasn't hurt at all. Even his clothes were not messed up. He looked like he was fine, other than his own agility. The three people also didn't use their full strength. Black Shadow carried the grilled fish to the side and saw some walnut shells on the ground. He wanted to step on them and crush them to prevent them from hurting his foot. Unexpectedly, he didn't crush the walnut shells, but his foot hurt. What kind of walnut shells are these? Why are they so hard? When he shouted, everyone noticed the pile of walnut shells behind the tree. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.